goes on like that.
Why stop?
Well, we will play it a bit more here moving forward. We got audio going on everywhere. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I was ready for it today. I had no idea what was happening yesterday. My dad was like, "Why are you and Eric holding hands?" And I'm like, "We're friends."
It's the Nielson Show with no Dustin Nielson yet again. Tom Gazzola, Lieutenant Eric with you here.
Buongiorno.
EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Nielson Show sponsored every day. A&W's new super crunchy chicken cruncher sandwiches are here. $20 for text of the day today. Get you a couple of those as well. You can hit us up, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. The texts are flying in. The nasty chat has been populated. Dance Party Friday, Tom, welcome back.
We don't
for
use
another one.
that word.
We don't use that word anymore. I didn't know
Apparently
about that. But I'll give a conch to you for another Dance Party Friday.
Bless you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Where
did it go? I hear it over there.
This is garbage.
Matthew, fix it.
One moment, please. We did have some technical issues yesterday here at Edmonton Sports Talk, and those have been mainly rectified. Now watch this. Look at this. The hell's going on here?
Look how unimpressed he is.
Matt's on it. Matt's on it like he was yesterday as well, fixing the issues around Edmonton Sports Talk. The best part about having him here is he's an engineer as well, right?
Yeah,
remember when we used to wait around for hours and hours and hours? A ticket, exactly. Yeah. Did you see any ticket writing here? No ticket.
Oh.
Yeah. Perfect, see?
He doesn't even say anything, he just walks away.
The Midas touch. Well, he doesn't, it just, that's...
He looks so unimpressed.
Because... we can barely do this ourselves here, Tom. That's the whole thing. Conch to Matthew Iwanek for... I think he was up all night trying to watch FP1, FP2.
It didn't happen. The sealant on those sewer drains or whatever.
The manhole covers.
Manhole covers. Yeah. And they're not that big. They're just the little ones. When I saw Tim Harady, our good friends... Oh, you're going to be okay. I saw Tim Harady's tweets or X posts, and I was like, oh, no, a manhole cover. So it was like the downforce from the cars ripped the sealant out from the manhole covers, and it was Ocon's car that popped, and they had to replace the chassis on it, right?
You don't know until you actually run the real thing. You can test all you want, right? But until these... rocket ships are going over it. You don't really know, I guess. Mm-hmm. If you have a conch, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. That was wild. I guess we'll kind of touch on that throughout the show this morning as Formula One, much like Vegas, right? Never sleeps now. You just kind of do the sport overnight, and who cares?
I was out for my dad and brother's combined birthday party, celebration.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Reno and Polly, and visiting my parents at their new place. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Practice session for F1 at an obscure time. And then I saw the posts about the manhole covers, and I saw the video of it, firsthand video of it, and the noise that it made and the sparks that flew like 25 feet in the air. Wow. And then I really thought it would be like a big manhole cover, and it was just like a little... maybe like 8-inch one?
Yeah. Do you think it's all part of the show, though? This is all...
Not part of the show.
It's not a script?
Yeah.
Big Hollywood script here, Vegas type of,
the session is over.
Somebody, Total Wolf pops up out of one of them, maybe, and pokes a tire.
No, Michael, no.
No, Mikey.
No, Mikey.
Dance Party Friday. Travis is in Dance Party Friday. Yay, he gives a little dancing emoji. Barry Batke, this song is 5 flame emojis. Magic Maddie, somebody chimes in. Corn 83, we love that. I know we weren't. We were both here on time. Everything's prepared. It's a Friday show though, and it is Grey Cup weekend now. We got a big soccer match as well tonight going down. Canadian men quarterfinals CONCACAF Nations League get underway tonight. Canada visiting Jamaica in Leg 1. We'll discuss that in the opening hour here with Brendan Dunlop. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure I get this right. Broadcaster and author and co-founder of Canadian Soccer Daily. That's the expert. He'll be joining us set up quarterfinal League 1, Canada-Jamaica tonight. I don't even have a...
What's wrong?
I need to get a pen.
How can I help you? You need a writing utensil? Would you like mine?
I need my own.
All right. It's the Nielson Show. Gazzola in for Dusty. Lieutenant Eric doing his own thing, getting ready for a soccer match. We may be out on the town tonight watching said match. Canada looking for its first victory in Jamaica since, was it April 4th? 1988. You and I were 2 years old.
I don't even know the date. It was a long time ago.
I picked up the date.
Yeah, get the exact date. We'll do the.
I have it. It was April 5th.
The price of bread was such and such, right?
It was $1.06.
Oh, it was back in the day. But what do you mean we might? You haven't.
I'm
hinting
tonight? At it's a tease.
Okay. I'll be there. Pint off white, 5 o'clock kickoff.
Me too.
Canada, Jamaica. It's going to be great. You're hinting. Now you've fully committed.
I feel like having chicken wings.
It's going to be a nice day. Like it's a Friday.
You're
Friday, man.
You're scooting all the way from the West End, or what are you doing?
I'll walk.
Wow.
I'll do a good walk. 12 degrees today for a high under mix of sun cloud. 10 tomorrow and 9 on your Grey Cup Sunday.
You can wear a spring jacket.
You're going to have to wear a jacket
or whatever you want.
Yeah. Will Tom sing It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday,
No.
and the gift flies in as well of
was
what's her
banned.
name? With Morgan Black, was that who it was? Megan
Rebecca Black.
Rebecca Black, is that what it is? Yeah.
Eric's like, you get that right. Or no, not Eric, Trev.
YouTube Trev on the show this morning as well. Hi, Trev.
How's it going? How's it going, everyone?
Yeah,
you doing all right? Yeah.
Yeah. Figuring
Pints
everything
tonight?
out behind her. I'm still iffy on
Are
that.
you playing hockey tonight with us?
I'm iffy on that too.
What is
Tommy.
going on? You were
Hockey,
such
too.
a flake.
It's been a
My
busy
parents-
week, man.
My brother
It's
was
been-
saying nice things about you yesterday, and I was like, don't lie about him.
No, I'm just super tired, Tommy. I'm like the last few weekends I've had like one day off, and like I don't know. I wouldn't mind just chilling tonight.
You've had visitors pestering in there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. So like my Sundays, I'm like, I gotta chill. And then Dad
Today's
was
Friday.
up last weekend. I know it's
I'm
Friday
teasing you.
today.
So you have hockey after the match then? Is that kind of what you were
Tommy does. Well, I honestly, I didn't think Tommy was gonna go because he was going to the Pint, and then I was like, oh sweet, Tommy's going to the Pint,
Gonna
so
watch
he's,
a 2-hour soccer
so
match.
he's not gonna ask me to play tonight, and then it turns out you're still going. So, okay, Tommy,
plans
I'm not
around
peer
here.
pressuring you into
Don't give me
anything.
that look.
You're the one
Don't
that's like,
give me
do you
that
guys
look.
play hockey? Yes, we play hockey.
I'm
Friday."
tired, Tommy.
You're like, I'd love to play. And I was like, absolutely. And here I am a month later going, you coming out tonight?
You're giving the boy ice here.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings.
Wow, but Joe
My brother, on
Balansky,
the other hand.
I don't believe you.
Flake boy, that's what YouTube Trev's been referred to.
Joe
as.
Balansky with that one.
Wow,
Well said.
knives are out.
He loves it. He's laughing. That Trev, that stash is disgusting in the best way possible, I have to admit.
Yeah, it's coming in pretty good here.
That's
Maybe I'll
gross.
here. Wait. Let's see if I can figure something
Yeah,
out here.
let's get it. Let's
Wait.
get it on
Where?
Oh, is he gonna
There
fix
we
it? Is
are.
he gonna
There we
break
are.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
look
Boom.
at that.
There we are today.
Hey.
It's coming in. It's coming in okay. It's only been 2 weeks, so this is just wait another two weeks, and it'll be chef's kiss.
Yeah, I was gonna say give us a kiss there. Yeah, I guess it's a nice one. Yeah, looking good. YouTube Trev, you want to run with the big dogs? You got to get off the porch. That comes in from Pat Maroon's bib.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, big soccer match tonight. And just going forward, I got my pen now, so I can go through the rest of the show with you. Mike Johnson,
Johnny.
NHL analyst, will join us just after 7 o'clock for Pro Am Sports. We got the Cool Bet line of the day, the hot line of the day. I do believe old
He's smiling somewhere over
engineer extraordinaire has something
playing,
prepared.
He's playing receptionist right now.
I think he might even join us. Rumor has it that he might join us
great.
in studio for that that segment, that hit
swagger
if you will.
today after hitting yesterday. ODB.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving it till late. Hey, making you sweat. Rod Black, Canadian broadcast legend.
Of course.
He is out in the Maritimes covering some basketball, but he'll join us around 7:40, 7:45-ish, just to discuss, as we do when Tom Gazzola's on the show. We'll get an update on his son's baseball career.
As one does.
Maybe an update on when the merch will get to us. And maybe
Still
some
waiting.
Great
Maybe-
Cup memories.
He sent it to the old place.
I wouldn't put it past him. Hey,
Right.
yeah. Somebody there is just decked out and
Well, nobody at reception because there is no more reception.
yeah, it's just sitting there in a box rotting away. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many on the way just after 8 o'clock for Mr. Mike's and Park Mazda. Scott Laurie will be by Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Time's ticking down to the 6 o'clock lager release, but he'll bring in some tins and cans from somewhere around the province to sample this morning.
I'm very much looking forward to these coming.
They've been tempting us just sitting here.
Yeah,
hey?
Sobeys Safeway liquor store near you.
I'd say this, and YouTube Trev and I had a brief little sample, just as you do.
I saw.
But I think this is a beer that could go down. Like if you crack this right now, room temperature,
I will
sitting here
not.
for it. No, but you could.
I can't.
You could, and it would be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a good beer should be able to be drank
Enjoyed
at
at
warm.
any
Yeah, I
temperature?
think right. Like
Yeah. I like this. This looks so cool.
it's very sharp.
Yeah, well
sharp
done.
look. And then the wrap for William Huff will wrap up the show at around 8:40. So that's your Friday morning show here. Once again, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. Come after that A&W text of the day today as well, $20 to A&W. Tommy, anything out of the NHL? You lose a lot of money last night, or you make a lot of money? Were you up or down?
I'm not a better, but that goal that Tim Stützle scored last night was crazy. The bat. Yeah. Smoke. That was
home
a
run.
Dinger.
And the goal. I don't know who's in net. They're kind of getting out of the way, right? Get out of my way. And did I hear this right? Jason freaking Strudwick on the hangout today. Best Oiler D-man to wear 43.
Yeah.
That is a hard confirm, correct?
I believe so.
Struddy hangout.
Yeah,
Jay Milne as well will be alongside.
We'll have to ask Jay Milne about those nice young men he met at the hockey match the other night.
Yeah, right.
Last name Jonas. I think they're Swedish.
Jonas. Yeah. He met the band, didn't he? That's a tag team though. Jason Strudwick and O'Malley in the hangout.
Yeah, Jason and Jason.
Get in the names 780-218-9999 for the tag team name of Jason Strudwick and one Jason Milne.
Big guys.
They got some beef to them. Yeah, they could throw down. Well, I mean, one's an ex-hockey, pro hockey. One guy's suited up collegiate football. I mean, they know their way around a gymnasium, safe to say. Mm-hmm. Maybe one more than the other. I don't know.
Well, I know one's a swimmer. Struddy likes a good swim.
Likes to stretch out in the pool. Yeah, get that spine elongated. Yeah.
Limber. Fit and limber.
Fit and limber. Ravens, Bengals last night. Any thoughts on this? Ravens improving to 8-3, much to the chagrin of one engineer, Matty Iwanek.
Well,
you called it yesterday, did you?
I said Iwanek was giving it to me a little bit because he hit on his hotline of the day.
Yes,
but I said to him because he was getting concerned about Lamar and the Ravens, and they're having success and this reverse mentality where you go in there and you're not feeling good about your team.
They're a terrible team. That's what he was
right. Yeah, he was basically saying that, and it's like, what are you talking about, dude? And I said to him, Joe Burrow's his throwing hand is an issue. He had some kind of brace on it, and I may have mentioned that to Matthew yesterday multiple times, and he just didn't receive this information.
Didn't want to.
And what did we see? Joe Burrow couldn't throw the damn ball, had to leave the game. And then did you see him try to throw it on the sideline? And it was like, and it just falls. He goes, nope, can't play.
And then he walked home, I think. He walked home down the thing. That was a trying to grip the ball when Bart's kind of going back in the pocket and the Simpsons, and it just falls. It just falls out of the hand. Falls out of the hand.
Nope.
Yeah. There was that grainy video of him. What was a pregame walking around, and they were trying to.
That's what I was
identify.
Referencing.
That was just
the
it.
Bengals had it on their social media accounts, and then they subsequently took it off because it revealed that his throwing hand was compromised. And I made mention to that to Iwanek, and again, he didn't want to listen to me, and he ended up hitting yesterday. So.
And heading out east, too, it looks like our boy Dustin Nielson tried something out east. Blue cheese dip for the first time last night. Said it's okay-ish. He included a GIF as well. Jay Milne then brought up a wing debate with him. It was a wing and a blue cheese. Blue cheese or ranch? What do you go
Always
for?
Ranch. Always really? Ranch.
I know the purists like that blue cheese. It's kind of the buffalo. It's an acquired taste, I guess. But Chad Kelly getting your George Reed Most Outstanding Player award last night.
He had a fantastic season. I like Chad Kelly's story. It's kind of a redemption story. Obviously, great lineage in the sport. The ties to Buffalo and Toronto, that's neat too. And Jim's, I think, popped in for a game or two here or there to watch his nephew. And, it didn't end the way that Chad Kelly wanted to, but good on the Alouettes. And Chad Kelly will be back. He's being paid handsomely to lead the good ship Argonaut. And maybe that'll fuel his fire for next year, but rewarded and recognized for being the best player in the league. I like how they named the award after George Reed, too.
It's a nice touch. Well done, for the the MOP, not the MVP, which, again, Kelly's numbers, outstanding-wise, were kind of in the... But
yeah,
they voted.
But that record was great.
And the record was great.
And they held him back a little bit, too.
The market you play in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'm
He's
kind of with you there.
marketable.
He's so marketable. marketable.
Very marketable.
He drips marketability.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Chad Kelly. I know I didn't see Dustin Nielson donning any orange and or powder blue suit last night for the awards. So he chickened out, I guess, is what we're calling that one, right? And Ryan Dinwiddie, Coach of the Year. Brady Oliveira named Most Outstanding Canadian, so he gets his flowers as well. Yeah, no, totally. So in bets as well, I don't think too much of a surprise there, taking home the Defensive Player of the Year, former Edmonton Elk.
What could have been
2 bets? Well, yeah, I mean that's it's this Caleros Fajardo thing here too, heading into Grey Cup weekend, and what could have been? Well, Zach Caleros we were talking about him not playing football ever again,
right?
So that. What could have been, but here we are, and it's Caleros v. Fajardo in Grey Cup 110. The game, obviously, Sunday afternoon. Dustin Nielson will have the radio call across the land, coast to coast to coast. He's got some information as well posted up on his Twitter for specific dials and where you can find him. 6:30 Ched here in town, though, for those listening in Edmonton.
May I say something?
Yes.
Honorable mention on this Friday. I'm going to use it once.
You have to use it. You're here on a Friday.
I was told I can't use it that much anymore, so I'm going to use it. I'll burn it up now. Corey the Butcher tried the sandwich, the panino from the Italian Center.
Like him.
And he ate it just the same way YouTube Trev did. I found a sandwich song on YouTube because Jack or Ken from Pro-Am was like, how do you pronounce it? And I found it. If I sent it to you, maybe could we hear it later?
Absolutely. I don't know why I'm hearing about this for the first time. What are you going to...
I'm going to forward it to you, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, we have to email, or what is it? Email?
No, I'm going to send you a YouTube link.
A YouTube link?
Yeah.
Okay, love it.
It's a great song. It's called Fammi no Sandwich, with lyrics.
Can you say that in the Rocky voice?
Fammi no Sandwich. So bad. I can't.
Mr. Evelyn became Mr. Most Outstanding. Great text there, flying in from Morgan. Very apt. Norman Combine, blue cheese, all caps lock.
Gross.
I got time for both, to be honest with you. I can't take a side in this debate. What do you, Trev? You ranch, blue cheese?
Yeah, ranch 100%.
100%?
Yeah. I've never one day like I had blue cheese and I asked for ranch and I was dipping my wing in it. I'm like, is this moldy ranch? Like, what's going on with the ranch?
It's got a
if you don't know, though, if you're expecting ranch,
tang
and you get that blue, there's a tang.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I sent you Fammi no Sandwich.
Okay, thank you. I'll have to...
received it?
In my Gmail account, or...
No, I just texted it to you.
Oh,
Would you like me to email it to you?
Well, I can play it off my phone if you like.
Well, no. I'll email it to you.
Yeah.
Work email or personal? No, don't. That's it. Yeah.
This carries good. Hey, you can hear. Wait for the drop.
Here it comes.
This is... The next time we get one in, we're going to have to play this and eat it while
we're going to dance.
It's good for the digestion.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll dance. And it goes on.
3.5 minutes worth of that. Yeah.
3.5 is a verse, chorus, verse type of, like it's well written.
It's very thorough.
Composed piece.
We go through all elements of Fammi no Sandwich.
Basically, yes, it's moldy ranch. JCD780 says, yeah, well, okay. I just thought maybe Tube Sock says ranch is for ninnies. Is that a...
Excellent use of ninnies.
I haven't heard. Is that a really bad word?
Good morning, Steven.
Tube Socks. Shout out to Tube Socks and the gang of merry folk out at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino, Fort Road, where every day is game day, where I was last night for the Ravens defeating the Bengals, staying atop the AFC North. I just want to get this right going down the line. Tube Socks, Dustin with a Y, Trevor Savage, Dez, Renee, Rob, Matt, Carson, who rolled in as he usually does.
Bam.
And I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Andrea and Jason, we missed you. Hope you're okay. They got in a car accident. They couldn't show up. But
shoot.
Thank you to everyone showing up last night. It was a great little night and tidy Thursday. We took down some smoked brisket cheesesteaks.
Yeah,
I tell you what.
did.
And that line for the
prime rib.
Holy shit. Like it goes. Hey, it circles. It's like you're waiting for it's like Swifty tickets or something like that. It's a never-ending line for a prime rib.
Okay, speaking of the prime rib at the Century Casino, Frank Capelli, who plays hockey on Friday nights, unlike YouTube Trev, Frank was talking about the $9.99 prime, not the prime rib at Century Casino.
Was he talking it up?
And he's like, my son loves it. He had like 3 of them in one sitting.
Yeah.
His son played football, I believe, for the Huskies. And Frank was just talking about it. I'm like, well, Lieutenant Eric's there Mondays and Thursdays at the Sports Bar and Lounge. Go pop in and say hi. Put your name down on the sticker or on the board for a jersey or a prize. And he's like, no way. So Frank, who knows a thing or two about Famino Sandwich, loves the prime rib at Century Casino.
Send him down.
I told him.
I forgot also Carson won the scoreboard last night. He won the Broncos t-shirt, which was up for grabs last night. So congratulations to Carson. You know about Carson? He rolls in really late, and then we all sit there and take bets on what time he rolls in. Because you're at a casino, right? So you can do that.
This is striking me as eerily familiar.
He rolls in
with me when I roll in.
Well, he shows up with like a Danielle Steele romance novel, and he doesn't gamble. He just shows up to win.
That's weird.
Win the squareboard.
Carson, what are you doing?
And so he'll roll in at like 8:30, stay there for 10 minutes, clean up on the squareboard. Like he hasn't watched the game. He has no idea what's going on. And he'll just write his name on the scoreboard, usually gets it, hits, and then he goes home with his little romance novel.
Danielle, you may as well just bring a Goosebumps at that point.
Well, I don't even know if he knows what he's reading. Oh, and Jerry as well. Jerry and his son Daniel showed up as well. My apologies, Jerry. You're not one of the mainstays, and you weren't up on. I'm gonna call that. We sit on that stoop. It's got to be something row. 780-289. Yeah. We got to have a name for that. But Jerry and his son as well. But they were sitting kind of downward into the into them. But we had a little drink. Yeah. No, you're welcome. Pay me back whenever you want, Jerry and son.
Daniel.
Yeah. So great night. Yeah, great night once again. You can join me again Monday. We'll be doing the grand prize draw. It's a trip for 2 to Los Angeles. You're going to catch the Browns and the Rams, that game beginning of December. So you get to go to a game prior to the busy Christmas season and all that, and have a little nice trip to SoFi in L.A. and do all the things people do down there. And,
that's awesome.
The football game is one thing. I know Trevor Savage, big Rams fan, he's gunning for it. So we'll be doing that grand prize draw. Everybody that's qualified throughout the season thus far, Monday night, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Mr. Lean will be in attendance. He wants to see this. To what I've heard, white envelopes. Like this will be. I'll have to wear gloves. Excellent. Like this will be a very, very high-end affair. It's a casino.
You're wearing away a prize, tuxedo right? T-shirt as well.
Yes, I'm going to get it pressed over the weekend.
Fantastic.
So Monday night, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, where every day and every night is game day.
Yes, sir.
780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers Inbox. Atif, look at this one. Did you see the jerseys he's sending in?
No, on the inbox?
He's got his name on the back of an Oilers jersey because he is down south. Early morning game, Oilers Hurricane, 6:30 a.m. I will send the final score Atif. That comes in at 5:48. I want to give a conch to our boy Atif down there. I know I didn't read it in a Atif speak, but...
5:48? Oh, there it is. Very nice.
It's looking good.
Representing number 24. In
good
honor
luck,
of Yanni Nienema.
Yeah, should be on the ice right now, I guess.
Steve Steos.
Joe Balaniski says, "Don't be knocking Goosebumps, Tom." I
would
not agree. You're just making a comparable.
If you're going to read Danielle Steele, may as well read Goosebumps.
Is it Danielle Steele? Danielle Steele?
Daniel Steele.
John Grisham.
Gone. Yeah, Michael Crichton.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Great novels.
Bumblebee Tuna Boys, Dance Party Friday. That comes in from Strumye. Somebody suggesting that the Strudwick Milne tag team name is the Hart Foundation, due to the fact that most people love those guys. That's
great.
It's good. I think we could do a little better though.
I went down a Davy Boy Smith rabbit hole. Speaking of the Hart Foundation,
I would have never guessed that you would say those words to me this morning.
British Bulldog.
What led you to this?
I just started watching old wrestling clips, and I was like, man, British Bulldog was good. He was a strong.
The cornrows.
A lot of demons.
Well, that's pro wrestling, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the cornrows.
Every year for the last 3 years, when Michigan started winning, they have said Harbaugh is going to the NFL. It's only on the table because the NCAA and Big Ten want him out. He has a contract waiting to be signed to make him the highest-paid coach in the Big Ten. There's also rumors that Michigan is looking at leaving the Big Ten due to this BS treatment and sign-stealing allegations, which would cost the Big Ten billions of dollars. Mike, the Michigan fan. I love how we don't at all tease, suggest, or make that we're going to talk college football in any sense, especially the Michigan and Harbaugh thing.
Yeah.
And Mike, the Michigan fan, texts in this long diatribe. The passion there, I really enjoy that, of just getting that in there, and that's why I wanted to read that.
Thank you, Mike.
Harbaugh, he's got assistant coaches crying after games now on the sideline.
Billions of dollars, the
Billions
investments.
and billions and billions, and it's BS treatment. Sign-stealing allegations.
He's suspended.
Hey, glad to hear you guys. EST, the best way to start my day. That comes in from Library Pat. He also wants a conch. I can do that for you. Milne and Struddy could also be the glue crew. Struddy, obviously, the classic Yoo-hoo glue stick, whereas JJ is the bottle of Elmer's. I think that'd be a neat little... somebody could Photoshop something there, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Savage the plumber last night was insane. It was insane, and I hope you were doing well here, Trevor.
Is he not feeling well?
He was having a week.
Oh,
we all do from time to time, right?
Yep.
So I think we picked him up a bit last night down
good.
at the... if you're having a week as well, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, once again, Monday night. Anything from the NHL standing out? I know the Oilers now, we've ignored them as much as we could thus far this morning. 6:30 in, half an hour in.
Great.
4-game road trip tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a busy one here on EST. It starts with Hello Hockey, myself and Sean Bell at 10 a.m., and then we'll have like a half-hour respite, and then we'll go into the Oil Stream pregame show. Belsey in for Cass. Cass is on good husband duty, let's call it. Mandy's got a project that she's working on, and Cass has to help her out. So Belsey will stick around, and he'll do the pre and post with myself and YouTube Trev. Can the Oilers get it done against Tampa? Tampa beat Chicago yesterday. They snapped a 3-game losing streak. The Oilers have a 3-game winning streak. For the first time this year, that game that we saw against Seattle the other night, obviously not the best game from the Oilers, but they still won it. Does it galvanize them, or do they get exposed by the Lightning for still not being a complete 60-minute type team? We shall see. We shall see. Afternoon game, mix that in. It's a 4 o'clock start out east, so 2 o'clock our time. This trip, 2-1-1, I think would be good. Some people say they need 3 wins. I don't disagree with that. This hole that they have to climb their way out of is it's surmountable, not insurmountable, but it's going to take a nice run here.
Yeah, caught the Islanders too on a downturn this week, and
sure.
Of course the Kraken. I think you've played pretty good against traditionally, but I'd say
7-2.
Seattle brought a pretty good effort though, and again, if things didn't, this is a trip that's I think people had identified after the coaching change as a real definer, right? And as it should be. Luke Gazdic said yesterday, you take these segments of the schedule.
Right.
I'd even this trip, you have to do like one game. You can't even look at this trip because it can be Washington's turning on right now.
Yes.
You mentioned Tampa, but that's always dangerous. I mean,
Tampa's had a rough start to the year. They're 7-6-4, I believe now.
Florida was on a 5-game heater. That was snapped last night by the Kings. So, and then Carolina, who roll out 4 lines. It's a fast, fun brand of hockey that they've employed there.
Carolina, by the way, how about this? Going with those Hartford Whaler uniforms, and they have the Cooperall look.
I was told it's just for like practice.
Yeah, they do it in warm-up.
Do it in the game. I know it goes against like
it's
rules.
A safety thing.
I know that.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They're just like shiny pants that they wear over the regular gear. It's like a shell.
Put them on during the game. It's got to be protection. It's got to be more an extra layer of. You would think.
Some kind of, I don't know what kind of fabric that would be. It's not Kevlar.
That's
not Kevlar.
Why were we
definitely not Kevlar?
Maybe, in terms of protection.
Yeah.
780-218-9999 is the number to text. So it was a pity win for Savage last night. Terrible. That comes in from Norm in a combine. No, he won fair and square. He got all the ballots in, as you can do as well, Norm, if you show up more than once to the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Oh, you're calling Norm out.
I'm just saying, if you want to win, you got to show up. You can't win with no name in the ballot box, man. I think there's a saying there.
Literally.
Or something. Yeah. Strummy, my boy's been doing the Michigan since he was 7. I think I misunderstood the conversation. Yeah, good one there. Yeah, I get the joke there. That's good. So, look, Pint tonight, you're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
100%?
Yes. I'm not letting my boys down. Like,
Kate, good. You're
if I say I'm going to do something in advance, I show up.
You and Matt could carpool from the condo.
Like, say I'm going to play hockey on a Friday that I've been asking about for a long time. I show up.
Well, in fairness to you, we only sprung this on you yesterday, so it's not like you've committed to a season of watching Canada soccer with us.
I'm supporting our national squadron.
You are, yes.
Okay. We're going to talk to Brendan Dunlop a little bit about that coming up in about 5 minutes.
Do you have a kit?
I do not have a kit. Your kit looks very nice.
Today's
snazzy. I do have some Canada stuff that I can wear in honor and to support, again, our national men's program. But I'm going back to this commitment thing that over time I learned is really important. So if you say, I'm going to do this with my friends and colleagues, I follow through. Unlike one young Trevor Bartholomew Graham Party.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm sorry.
I'm all over you today.
Yeah, no, okay, you know what? Fine. I'll be there.
I don't care.
Fine,
I'll be there.
The damage is done.
I just don't want to embarrass you out there, Tommy. That's what it is.
Do you skate with a chair still, right?
Oh yeah. Where'd you see that? Who told you that? Was that Dusty?
I know people. I have sources.
Yeah, no. If we go out there, which we will.
No, get your rest. You're 25 now. You're old.
Yeah, I am old. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, Tommy. Okay, I'm sorry. And like last weekend, it was my folks coming down, and then it was my birthday.
Did they show up on Friday?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Did you see them on Friday?
Yeah.
I thought you said it didn't happen until Saturday.
No, it happened Friday.
Okay.
And then the weekend before, birthday.
What'd you do? Oh, yeah.
And then,
were you inebriated?
Yes.
Yeah. As one does.
Yes. And then the weekend before that, I
no-showed.
I think, didn't we work the Friday?
I
Wasn't there an Oilers game?
You were hammering.
I'm all over him.
I'm sorry, Tommy.
It's way too early for this.
I apologize.
It's like he's on the witness stand.
I'm getting roasted here.
Hot enough for you in here?
Yeah, very nerve-wracking.
I'm kidding.
Well, no, we'll save you a seat at the pint as well.
We'll put it on the end of the table.
He's talking about hockey. I'm talking about the pint. I say he shows up to none of them. Out of the two events going on tonight, your hockey.
I'd put money on it that he shows all of us.
I'm fine with it, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against him.
Yeah.
I'll mock him, but I won't be upset about it.
A little me time, a little, Friday self-care.
Yeah. And then tomorrow we're going to roll in here. He's going to be like, I had a crazy night, Tommy.
Fresh mani-pedi.
This girl wanted to meet up with me, and it started out with a mimosa, and then
4 a.m.
I'm having a Caesar at 4 in the morning. And
it's usually how it goes with him. Those are usually how the stories kind of, it's a shell.
I had to drive her home, and then I came right to the studio.
They're not wrong. Unfortunately, they're not wrong.
Oh, young man.
Hey, you'll like this one. Vance Van Vandervan, 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. I think the Oilers are due for a big run. They'll ride the new coach bump for a bit, and when that starts to fade, guess what? The Janmark bump. Boom.
Oh, baby. Vance Van Vandervan coming through in the clutch with that
Playing
one.
the notes that you love, hey?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well played.
Ahead of Brendan Dunlop here, broadcaster and author and co-founder of Canadian Soccer Daily. He'll be joining us momentarily to set up the big match tonight. Canada-Jamaica quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League getting underway tonight down in Jamaica against the Reggae Boys. Kickoff 5 o'clock on One Soccer. The second leg will go Tuesday back in Toronto. Of course, it's an aggregate two-legged affair here. And we'll chat more with Brendan Dunlop on that coming up soon. 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox, or the YouTube nasty chat as well. Hit up Edmonton Sports Talk. Give us the sub and hit the like, damn it. We need to get to, I think we could get 100 by the end of the hour. Right? Am I shooting too far here?
I just dropped a thumbs up on it.
Just now, hey?
Just now. Usually I'm like right away and I go, what's up, nasties?
Right in there with the wrench.
I'm in there. I think the blue cheese conversation threw me off, though. That's, ugh.
The blue cheese conversation has kind of turned to the Kadri conversation here and wanting out or remaining in Calgary as a Flame.
Calgary,
I don't know if that's the topic du jour today, but yeah, I mean, you know what? Not terrible. I mean, not a good start for the Oilers, but you can always point and look at the Flames. I know slightly above in the standings, but I mean, the wanting out and the not knowing who's doing what and what the future may hold right now. That's got to give Oilers. You can put on pause whatever is happening in this market, turn the page and look over there and say,
you can. You can, but I kind of appreciate when Oiler fans just ignore what's happening in Calgary.
That's the biggest.
Who? What? There's a team down there?
It's the biggest shade to throw.
Yeah, it's a great shade, and I appreciate when Oiler fans do that, as opposed to be, well, look at Calgary, they're struggling. They have actually won 2 in a row, despite all the turmoil. It is kind of a bad situation because I said this aloud to somebody the other day. I'm like, what happened to Calgary that nobody wants to play there anymore? And the discussion revolved around a culture of not winning and guys that are from, like you had Gaudreau and Tkachuk that wanted to leave. American guys want to go play in the U.S. They got their wish. They got their big tickets. Now you've got, the conversations with Lindholm weren't going particularly great. Hanifin wants out. Zadorov, who kind of endeared himself to the fan base last year. Now he wants a trade request. Michael Backlund's having to answer questions about it. He's the new captain. The Huberdeau thing.
But they've won 2 in a row. How this is going to go, right? They'll fight and punch and claw their way into a mediocrity type of position there. Sure. Not make a wild card.
Just stuck in neutral.
It's stuck in neutral. That
great
purgatory
place
zone,
for them if you're an Oiler fan.
The who? Sorry?
Pardon me,
who?
Which team?
The Calgary what?
Are they based out of Montana?
Those are the questions you throw at. Yeah.
I'm teasing.
You don't like the Schadenfreude, though. You don't like to take the. You don't like to see the suffering and then I like to ignore it. Me.
Yeah, no, I don't feed off of take that negative energy from an opposition squadron.
Tommy, I know how you feel about YouTube Trev. The Wolf is 35, and yet my 25-year-old gym trainer can barely keep up with me. But it's nice because he constantly forgets I'm a decade older than him. No don't air for Trev tonight. Seems like a bit
What
of
are you having, Trev? Oh, you're on the phone. Okay.
Answer us while you're on the phone, Trev.
Talk to me, Trevor.
Talk to me. Just ahead of Brendan Dunlop here. He's going to join us. Canada, Jamaica tonight. Down in Jamaica. 5 o'clock. And
Canada won 6-5 since April 5th, 1988 in Jamaica.
It's tough. CONCACAF's tough, man. And I know sometimes you can argue, and this team has talent littered around it, but you're going down to some of those nations sometimes, and it is like the pitch is not taken care of. The fans are absolutely out of control. And the countries themselves can sometimes be a little, iffy.
Yeah. 27 degrees, I believe they're expecting the temperature to be come kickoff.
Love it.
Yeah, that should be good.
That's I don't think it'll be as balmy next Tuesday in Toronto, but maybe you can use a little of that home field advantage like we saw here in Edmonton. I don't know if it'll be as cold, but you're hoping for some of that maybe.
It's been warm out there, hasn't it? Like, we're getting 13 degrees today.
12 degrees for a high this afternoon. Mix of sun and cloud. 10 tomorrow and 9 on your Grey Cup Sunday. So it looks like a pretty nice weekend here in Edmonton. It's good. Yeah. Brendan Dunlop, good. Broadcaster and author and co-founder, Canadian Soccer Daily, Brendan Dunlop joins us now. Good morning, Brendan. How you doing on this Canada game day?
Hey, good morning. I'm good. No, it's exciting. It's been a minute. We haven't seen enough of this men's team, so I'm excited to see them go up against Jamaica tonight.
That's just it. And Brendan, if you could just educate our listeners and viewers here just to what this means tonight. Quarterfinals, leg 1, Canada, Jamaica. What is on the line here for Canada moving forward if they do get past Jamaica and kind of advance down the line here?
Yeah, this is a unique one. So they're in one tournament with benefits to be in another tournament. That's how international soccer is, and that's what FIFA puts on the calendar. So there's more games to be played and more money to be made. Simple as that. The Nations League is a tournament that many people may not be familiar with. This is essentially the third kind of season of this Nations League, which was designed to make the international friendlies that would happen in these types of international windows throughout the year matter and mean something. So they've created this tournament that also helps to strengthen the region and create some more kind of competitive games for teams. And Canada came up short in the final in Las Vegas last June, which I was at. They got obliterated by the United States. So now this is the new cycle. They're through to the quarterfinals. They're going up against Jamaica, the side that they beat in Toronto 4-0 in March of 2022 to confirm their participation in the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, the first men's World Cup in 36 years. So this is a team that they know how to beat, but they're going to a place that they haven't won in 30 years in Kingston, Jamaica. So it's a two-legged tie. They'll come back on Tuesday and play Jamaica at BMO Field. Winning this tie would see them through to the semifinals, but it would also give them automatic qualification into next year's Copa America, which is normally just a South American tournament involving the 10 teams: Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, all the big teams from South America. But it will be expanded next year, hosted in the United States, to include 6 teams from our region, CONCACAF. So for Canada to participate in that, it is absolutely crucial that they qualify. If they lose this quarterfinal tie against Jamaica, they still have an opportunity to be one of the 6 CONCACAF teams that play in Copa America, but it would be much easier if they just win this tie to get through to the semifinals of the Nations League and then have their spot at Copa America next summer.
I don't know about you, Brendan, but a lot of us here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Canada making it to that World Cup, but kind of during a winter Christmas season, it just didn't feel right. If they make it at Copa America and next summer, I mean, I am totally stoked for that. That'll be something you can go outside, enjoy bevy on the patio, that type of thing, and really enjoy it and let it open up and I think celebrate it a little more than what we were denied over the winter months and Christmas season during the World Cup.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we've been starved of Canada playing, teams like Brazil, like Argentina. To see them go up against Mexico in big stadiums in the United States, perhaps. It's going to be so different, and it would be so huge for Canada's progression as a men's program. And it happens at the same time, as the Euros would happen in the summer. So it would just be a big festival of football. You could stay on the patio all day. You should post up there. You should be doing shows from the patio.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Preach.
Plant those seeds, Brendan. Plant those seeds. Brendan Dunlop joining us now, broadcaster and author, co-founder of Canadian Soccer Daily. Brendan, since we kind of last saw this men's national side, and that was, during the World Cup and all of that, where they were really on the forefront of our minds, like what's going on with them? Interim head coach, has there been chaos? I know Canada Soccer has been its own whirlwind and kind of hurricane of a mess. Like, where's this men's side at right now? I don't know how else to describe the Canada Soccer situation, because it's kind of been
a hurricane of a mess. It's a perfect situation. Man.
Yeah,
it's a perfect description. It has mellowed a little bit. There's been a little bit of stability behind the scenes. Obviously, they went to the World Cup in Qatar without a deal that they felt was fair, which is really not rare that the group of players would feel that the deal was unfair, but rare that they had qualified for the World Cup and then gone to a World Cup without having a deal. And then the women's program did the same thing before last summer's Women's World Cup. So there's definitely been a trend the last couple of years with Canada Soccer fighting against their players. Right now, that's mellowed a little bit, but part of that chaos is the reason I think that John Herdman is no longer there. I also think that and then there have been reports that John Herdman's standing within the dressing room had changed a little bit. I can't say for certain that it had, but I think in general, when you work with the same coach for 5 years in soccer, that's not something that we see very often. There's not too many coaches, particularly in international soccer, that go through multiple World Cup cycles like that. So do I think that a change was necessary? Not necessarily, but I do think that the program is in good hands in this interim basis with Mauro Biello, who's more than qualified to be an international manager and who has experience with these players from when they were playing in the youth team, when he was coach of the U20 team. And I think that there's a familiarity there that Canada has really lacked for a long time. And because there hasn't been kind of youth camps and the development that other nations see with as frequent camps and participation, just having, I think, some continuity is very good, as opposed to bringing in some big name forward manager who's you're hoping to elevate the program with the anticipation of a World Cup coming in 3 years' time. There's going to be some big interviews, I think, for that head coaching job. For now, it's basically about getting the team prepared for 2024. talk about how important it's going to be if they have the opportunity to go up against Lionel Messi in Argentina and play against Neymar in Brazil. How incredible an experience that'll be for us as fans to watch, but for these players too. A lot of them are beginning to get huge opportunities at major club teams across Europe, but haven't had that opportunity to play other elite opposition internationally for Canada. So they're in a good situation on the field. They're in it seems like a slightly more stable situation off the field for the time being, but a lot of things still need to happen, and there's a big gap between what we see on the field in terms of how far this program has come and what is happening off of it with Canada Soccer. They're a small organization that has always been run like a small organization, and the reality is that soccer is not small anymore, so it has to catch up quick.
Brendan, just getting back to the match tonight, and you mentioned Canada winning 4-0 here in Canada. You look at this Jamaica squad, peppered with Premier League pedigree, I think. Ethan Pinnock, too. Guy's always great story for him personally and rising up and where he is with Brentford today. But, the Leon Baileys and et cetera, why then, when you say Canada, and again, to maybe a fan that's dipping its toe into this whole thing, Canada wins 4-0 at home. Why then has Canada had such hard luck down in Jamaica, 35 years, back to the 80s? What can Canada do tonight to grind out or get a result against a Jamaica squad that, the Reggae Boys, traditionally, this is some names and some power on this starting 11 tonight. So what can Canada do tonight to get some sort of result, and why is it so different down there and 30-plus years as opposed to winning 4-0 up here?
Yeah, this Jamaica team is a different team than Canada beat in March of 2022, and also catching them at a different time. Jamaica knew that they were out. They had a very poor qualifying campaign. They brought Michael Antonio, the big West Ham striker, in to help solidify their attack, and they had some injuries through qualifying. But Jamaica really, really underperformed in that World Cup octagonal qualifying cycle, and Canada just caught them at the end on a really cold day. That it was like the Southwest Airlines commercial. They couldn't get away fast enough. Jamaica on that day. This is different, and in Jamaica and in many places in CONCACAF, there's a lot of conditions that make it very difficult for Canada and opposing teams when they come in. The field, for one, will be one to watch tonight. It's supposedly very, very rainy in Jamaica. This can often be the case at this time of year in general, but the field conditions, are not what a lot of these elite players are used to. And that may, sound funny, like, oh, well, the grass is grass and ice is ice. But, we see it with hockey all the time when these outdoor games come. Like, it can really affect the quality of play. And for Canada in the past, it really has to go down, to a cauldron there, with conditions that aren't ideal, off the field as well. We often see the stories of the opposing fans that'll be lighting fireworks outside of their team hotel. That's not usually a Jamaican trend, but in this region in general, that's something that a lot of these players, when they go back to their club teams in Europe and tell those stories, a lot of their teammates are shocked by. So it's always been a difficult place to play for Canada. To win tonight in Kingston would be huge because it's something that they've not done since the 80s. But I don't know if that'll happen. The last game, our last showing of this team, they got run off the pitch by Japan 4-1. So I think just to play a stronger defensive game, to get out of there with limiting the goals conceded, and to put yourself in a good situation to come back to Toronto and score some goals, which you're capable of. I truly think that'll be the game plan. You're going to see a tight defensive game if they can catch Jamaica on the counter. They'll be very happy with that, and they've got the pieces to make them pay. But it's about not conceding tonight, which Jamaica got some dangerous names, as you mentioned, that can fill the back of the net, and Canada can't have that happen.
Brendan Dunlop, broadcaster and author and co-founder of Canadian Soccer Daily. We greatly appreciate your time here, sir, on Game Day. Just wanted to get to one quick text, and it's directed to you, Brendan. It comes in from Lacombe Drew. Tell Dunlop that Ronaldo is still overrated. I miss listening to a good Ronaldo defense from him on Footy Prime. And then the second part of the text also, ask him how he plans to remove the Drake curse he put on Team Canada at the World Cup. Any thoughts on those on that two-pronged text there, Mr. Dunlop?
I love that I'm compared to Drake for having put the curse on the team. I was present in pitchside for the very first goal that the men's team had scored at the World Cup. So I don't think it was all on me, but I appreciate that. That's great. And of course he's wrong. Ronaldo's not overrated. Look at the goal he scored against Liechtenstein. How many 38-year-olds are doing that?
Appreciate it, man. I can tell the fire still burns. Enjoy tonight, Brendan, and thanks for your time.
Great to chat with you guys. Give me a shout anytime.
Love it. Brendan Dunlop, broadcaster, author, and co-founder, Canadian Soccer Daily. You can check him out on Twitter, Brendan_Dunlop, and of course, Canada, Jamaica tonight, 5 o'clock, and you can watch it at the Pint Off White with us.
Yeah.
And maybe YouTube Trev.
No, probably not
Probably
YouTube
not.
Trev.
He's got a hockey game to prepare for.
He doesn't even know what soccer is. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm all over you today.
You're the big soccer guy. Like,
Yeah.
You don't even know.
You don't even know footy.
You don't even know what a pitch is.
Yeah. 2 45-minute halves, Trev.
No commercials, just like the show.
Yeah.
I know what soccer is, Tommy.
Okay. I don't believe you.
Mike Johnson to come just after the top of the hour. If I could hit a sports rewind, I guess. Could we do that right now, boys, for a universal rewind? Is that, let me just bear with me here, and I'll get the music here for myself, and let's get rewound here. NFL Thursday Nighter, Baltimore Ravens improving to 8-3 with a 34-20 victory over the Bengals. Joe Burrow would leave the game with a wrist injury and would not return the loss, dropping Cincinnati to 5-5. NHL action last night, the Kraken over the Islanders 4-3. Kings would hang on to defeat Florida 2-1, snapping the Panthers' 5-game winning streak. Vegas win a marathon in Montreal 6-5 over the Habs. Flames dump the Canucks 5-2. Sharks drop the Blues 5-1. And Tampa double up Chicago 4-2. As the Oilers embark on a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow in Tampa. You can join Tom Gazzola tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. That's when coverage starts 12:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Toronto Raptors host Boston tonight in group stage action of the in-season tournament. Back over to hockey, where the Oil Kings kicked off a 3-game road trip Wednesday with a 6-1 win over the Pats. The club will visit Brandon tonight and wrap the road trip Saturday night in Moose Jaw. And quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League get underway tonight. Canada, Jamaica in the first leg. Kickoff 5 o'clock from Jamaica. The second leg will go Tuesday back in Toronto. This Sports Rewind brought to you by Universal Rewind. Just as F1 teams rely on the box call to ensure their cars remain competitive, your industrial operation can benefit from a proactive approach to maintaining your electric motors. Contact Universal Rewind today to ensure your podium finish. It's still 6 o'clock. It's amazing. It's still 6 o'clock.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello.
It's not static AM radio. It's the cool and red hot Nielson Show. Daddy likes
6:58. Nielson
I love
Show.
that part.
It's this is a certified banger. Not since this past summer, and when we had what was it, Kenny Holland's summer anthem theme that we had playing there.
Yeah.
And then everything happened at the old station. But that was a banger. That was
was great.
that was climbing the charts, and it was going to be a triple platinum banger. But this thing right here from Jonty and Victoria, what a time to be alive is all I can say.
Loomis via the Nasty Chat says, "Man, this song slaps."
I
He's
think
not
that's
lying.
what the teenagers say these days, right, Trev?
Yeah, that one I know. Yes, it slaps. So that's good. That's very good.
Sick.
Just ahead of Mike Johnson, he'll be joining us here to set up the Oilers' 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow afternoon in Tampa. Of course, you can listen to us, edmontonsportstalk.com. We are on the TuneIn app, Edmonton Sports Talk, a quick search there. You don't got to pay. It's fine. You can pay for the premium, but you can you can listen to the TuneIn. It's all good. Don't need to give a dime. Also join the Nasty Chat on YouTube, Edmonton Sports Talk as well. And the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. We, I guess it's still not even 7 o'clock yet, hey? We still, anybody?
Johnny's ready to rock.
Is he ready to go? Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get him on then right now. Yeah, you want to bring in Johnny? I guess got to type something out here. Mike Johnson joins us here. Where are you, Mike?
Yeah.
First off.
I am in my hotel room in Stockholm, Sweden. It is, I don't know, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock here in the afternoon. I got the Leafs playing the Sens in Stockholm at 8 p.m. tonight after the Red Wing Sens games last night. So at least Red Wings, I guess, tonight, not Leafs Sens, at least Red Wings. So yeah, I'm over in Sweden for the weekend and then heading back on Sunday.
Lovely little weekend. The Global Series, Johnny, what do you make of it? Do you like this, the showcase over in Europe? Do you think this thing's going to take off and the NHL is going to expand more and more? Not team-wise, but how they bring their product overseas. I know the NFL has been big on that for the last decade and a bit for sure.
So I like it. I think fans like it. I think the players don't even mind it. But I don't know if the clubs love it because it's not ideal for them. It's basically like having a bye week in week 3 of the NFL. You don't really want to bank all these off days. There's like 4 days you're not playing before you play these games. And there's about 4 or 5 you're not playing when you go home. So you're taking 8 or 9 off days that you would much rather have interspersed in the schedule in January, February, March, when you're kind of grinding and you're tired and you really want that energy. But I do think, having been here in Stockholm specifically, it's a big deal here. Like, it is absolutely got a lot of buzz in the city. Like, sometimes you walk into a city for anything. Could be a Super Bowl, could be a NASCAR race, whatever. And sometimes like, oh yeah, it's a big deal here. But sometimes it's like, they don't even care at all. Like, it's an afterthought. You could tell here in Stockholm, it's a big deal. They're very much into it. Electric crowd last night. All the great Swedish players. It's like the Naslund, Forsberg, Kronwall, Lidstrom, like Sundin, that whole generation of great Swedish players were all in the building, all around Stockholm for the weekend. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it is close enough that you can kind of come over for a couple games and go back home, but it's not ideal. And you can't have the same teams doing it year after year. You really have to mix it. All 32 teams take their turn.
I was going to ask, too, it's kind of funny this lines up. Dustin Nielson covering the Grey Cup out, actually wasn't in Hamilton. He was staying in Niagara and kind of off the path. And we're like, why would you go out there and not have the media parties and all that with Grey Cup week? I'd just like to ask your thoughts. How much is it a business/leisure trip for you? Are you able to get out and enjoy yourself with some of the things going on off the ice? Or is this more just a work trip? You're stapled to the hotel room. It's hotel in the rink and back and forth.
Yeah, what's it like rolling with Matt Sundin everywhere, Johnny?
Yeah, it's like it's 1999 again is what it's like. It's good times in downtown Toronto. No, you know what it is? I guess I'm like the players. Like, I was here for 3 days and didn't do anything. And you go out for dinners and you go out for excursions and you see the bars and you take in the culture, and it's an amazing city. Like, and you're having fun. And while of course you're prepping and you're reading and you're at the rink for practices, you're not really locked in because you're just you have days off. But then last night we have a game. And then we have 4 games in 4 days, and that's a lot, including 2 afternoon games, including one on Sunday at 2 in the afternoon. So you can't quite see the sights and sounds to the same degree as maybe you were early in the week. So my schedule is much like the players. But I will say, I hadn't been in Stockholm probably since 2004 when I was playing here in Sweden during the lockout. It's an awesome city. Like, it is a spectacularly beautiful city, food, nightlife, people. It is, it's a good time.
Everyone wears scarves over there still, like Jason Strudwick, who's now Swedish, apparently.
Yeah, listen, I brought a couple scarves and I fit right in. Absolutely. It's a mandatory look. And even when you take your jacket off, you leave the scarf on.
That's right.
Stay cozy.
Mike Johnson brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned fan cave and fan gear specialist, located St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of the L-Head, or online, proamsports.ca. And Mike, just coming back to the continent here, the Oilers, of course, making the coaching change. It feels like, last Friday, I'm just kind of doing the timeline here. It must have been a week now, and it's now the Chris Knobloch era. 2K wins over the Islanders and the Kraken. Now, though, you're embarking on this 4-game Eastern trip where Tampa, have kind of had a bump, but they're still the Lightning. The Capitals, I think, have been heating up. Florida have been playing some good hockey as of late. Just your thoughts, I guess, quickly and overall. And again, I know you're in Sweden, maybe not keeping a keen both eyes on this situation. Yeah. What have you thought over the past week? And I guess expectations leading up to this 4-game trip, which I really think fans have been having circled as the true test right now of this group.
Probably is. You're exactly right. So my thoughts leading up. So the team has started to score. Is that Chris Knobloch? Is that like him freeing up everyone? I don't necessarily think so. I think it's just the math working out that the Edmonton Oilers were eventually going to score, whether it was under Jay Woodcroft or Mike Johnson, Chris Knobloch. They just generated too much stuff to not score more consistently. So I don't know if I'm going to give him credit for that just yet. Now, there may be a bit of guys feeling like a fresh start was something that they were hopeful for, and maybe there's something to that, but I don't know about that. The things that Chris Knobloch has to deal with and can impact, one, their transition rush defense, which involves managing pucks and then how to defend them when they don't, and then in-zone defense. Like, that's the things that he can help them with. And he's done a little bit different in the neutral zone, some different ideas there. The in-zone stuff, I haven't seen too drastic a difference. I don't think Chris Knobloch can help them with goaltending. The goalies are going to be what they are going to be. He can help a system that doesn't expose them, but whether they stop the puck or not, that's not on him, nor was it on Jay Woodcroft to figure that one out. That's on the goaltenders and the goalie coach to sort out. So this will be a good test. Now, the Oilers were way better and were playing way better than their record had them at when they were dead last in the league after the loss to San Jose. And I think there'll be some natural regression to a better team under Knobloch, and they'll probably start climbing back up the standings. They might have to do a little bit more than that to get all the way back to the playoffs. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they manage this on the road. Do McDavid and Draisaitl play together? How does all that kind of work? How do they manage the depth defenseman? But you take the wins when you can get them. They've won 3 in a row. They're kind of creeping back towards the pack, which is exactly what they were hoping to do.
Johnny, when the Heat was getting cranked up here last week specifically, after that loss to San Jose, rightly so, that the Oilers were 2-9-1 at that point, we assumed Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson were definitely on their way out. They got to stick around for one more game. It was a 4-1 win against Seattle, probably the team's best 60-minute performance. And then they still let them go. Ken Holland and Jeff Jackson let Woodcroft and Manson go, and they bring in Chris Knobloch and Paul Coffey. Did you have those guys at all on your radar as the solution, or did it catch you off guard?
It certainly caught me off guard, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now, if we were really being diligent and digging deep, Knobloch probably should have been more top of mind because he's a good coach, and he's kind of an up-and-coming coach that was going to get a head coaching job at some point. And then you tie in the Connor McDavid connection, which I know he wants to underplay completely, and I get it. But you tie in the Jeff Jackson connection, which we cannot underplay, and maybe we should have been paying more attention to him. And he's more than capable. Now, if he wasn't Chris Knobloch with the McDavid relationship and the Jackson relationship, would he be the coach? Probably not. I mean, that's probably fair to say as well. Doesn't mean he's not going to do a good job, but it probably would have been someone else. But that was surprising. But the bigger surprise is probably Koff. I mean, listen, Paul Coffey's other time coaching the NHL was me. He coached me in Arizona, right? He was our power play consultant when we had Gretz and Rick Tocchet and Grant Fuhrer, and Barry Smith was our coach down in Arizona the year after the lockout in 05-06. And he's obviously bright. He's incredibly talented as a player. He understands the game. But coaching full-time, running a defense and a defense core is different. And it takes work. And it's hard to just jump, no matter how brilliant you are as a player or astute you are watching. It's different. You guys know that. On the bench, it's different. So that one surprises me. Not in the sense that they might have asked him, because it seems clear to everyone Paul's influence in the organization has really grown.
Yes.
In the last year and a half. He's got the year of the owner. He's part of the advisory committee to get Jeff Jackson in there. He's part of what's going on there now. So maybe that shouldn't be a surprise, but he's never done this before. And you can't learn on the fly. Not this year. Like the Habs could hire Marty St. Louis, and that's okay because they're not trying to win. He's figuring it out. He's growing. He's getting better, and he's pretty good. The Oilers don't have that luxury to put a coaching staff on board that there's not able to be excellent right away. So that's a big challenge for Paul Coffey and the Oilers defense core, that whole dynamic, because he's not done this at this level kind of ever.
I have one more for you. It's somewhat related because one of the teams you're covering out there in Stockholm is the Ottawa Senators, and Steve Staios was a member of the Oilers front office, and now we're seeing a time of transition with the Sens. How is all of this playing out? I know Daniel Alfredson making an appearance behind the bench. What's your take on the evolution and change with the Senators over the last couple of months?
Well, I think it's happened way faster than even those people taking over thought it would or wanted it to. You know, Ann Lauer came in. He was always going to bring Stevie or try to bring Steve Staios along. They have a great relationship from their time in Hamilton and previous successes. So that was kind of obvious. And they brought him in not to replace Pierre Dorion. I think the idea was get Steve to be the president, develop the organization, let DJ and Pierre Dorion run the team this year successfully, and then, you know, figure out what you want to do going forward. But their hand was forced because of, you know, the Shane Pinto thing, the Dadonov trade first round thing. They had to let go of Dorian because they couldn't let him continue after those kind of mistakes. Steve had to take it over. Like, a lot's going on here, and the team's not doing that well. Finally got back to 500 last night. And so I don't think they don't want to replace DJ at all. They want stability. Like they want no noise, no drama, just go out and play and win. But if they don't win, then I don't think they'll keep the same coach around the whole year, because much like Edmonton, they're not in the market for a development year or a learning year. They're in the market for a winning year and make the playoff kind of year. So I think everything that is happening in Ottawa has sort of fast-tracked what might have happened eventually anyways, but it's just forced it a little bit quicker.
From one Canadian type of weird hurricane mess to the other in Calgary Flames, what do you see going on here? I mean, they're just kind of beating teams they shouldn't be beating, all while, you know, certain players maybe wanting out, certain players maybe not wanting out so much, and maybe straddling a line, guys getting benched and then going off and producing. What's the deal with the Flames? Not that we care as much here in this market, but if you can provide a little expertise and shine a light on what's going on down there.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, the Flames, again, they're not a bad team. They probably were not as bad as they record would indicate, but they weren't playing well. Like Edmonton played well, resulted poorly. Calgary played poorly and got poor results. There's a big difference there. They weren't playing particularly well. But I think where Calgary finds themselves is, like, they're a decent team. They're a playoff bubble team.
Yep.
And that's how they should perform. But what they have to ask themselves is, are we a Stanley Cup team? And if we resign all these free agents, are we a Stanley Cup contending team? Can that be it? And the answer is actually probably no, right? I mean, something very strange would happen for them to win a cup. So if that's the answer, why would you want to re-sign all these pending UFAs? Like, if you're not going to win a cup with them, well, don't you want to take the other option and say, like, they're not sure if they want to come back. We're not sure if it makes sense to bring them back. Why don't we just get a bounty for all these guys, Zadorov, Tanev, Hanifin, Lindholm, and not do a full rebuild, but you could actually kind of pull off a reset by getting young players, prospects, draft picks for all these guys who are all pretty good players in their own right and would be in demand around the league for playoff teams. So, yeah, they're winning games, and Huberdeau is going to score points. He's never not going to score. I mean, he's going to, at some point, pick up some points. Kadri, the same thing. They're going to win games, but I think the bigger picture problems in Calgary is they have to come to the realization that even with all these guys back, if they can get them back, they're probably not good enough. So you're better off going down a different road.
Mike, really quickly, the fact that all these guys, they're not hiding that they want out. We saw Gaudreau and Tkachuk leave too. Are you surprised that people want to leave the Flames and get out of Calgary? Because it seemed like people really enjoyed going to Calgary and playing for the Flames, and all of a sudden it's taken an about face here.
Well, I think Tkachuk and Gaudreau were something very different. Gaudreau was very much, he wanted to play in America. Like, he wanted to be down there for family reasons. He had a baby and all the rest of it. Tkachuk, I think he wanted to play for Florida specifically. And maybe he read the writing on the wall with Johnny leaving. But those guys have all been there for a long time. Like, Gaudreau was there for 9 years or whatever it was. The guy, Hannaford's been there forever. Lindholm's been there forever. Like, they've been around a long time. So I don't know if it's an exodus. I think it's players getting more comfortable saying, I don't want to play wherever that place might be. I don't think it's specific to Calgary or to Edmonton or to Winnipeg or Ottawa or Toronto, or I don't think it's Canada-based thing. I think it's more like, our team's not so good. I want to play on a good team. I can't pick a Stanley Cup winner, but I want to make sure I'm on a good team. I'm not trusting the direction here. And so I'm not shy about saying, nah, I'll play it out and I'll go somewhere else. And knowing how, the one thing that might be Calgary specific, knowing how sensitive they are to the guys leaving, they would probably be very proactive in trading these guys away.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, and then the taxes, right? The taxes. You're going to always think of the taxes.
It's always about the taxes.
It's always about the taxes in the States. The taxes.
Taxes might be the weakest argument for any trade
Everybody
ever.
always says it, Mike. He always
I have a grade 10 accounting class. That's what I got. And I can figure out a system to make the difference in taxes you pay in Texas and New York or Ontario to be like 4%. It's not 18%. It's negligible stuff. And I'm an idiot. Like, a smart person could do much better than me. So taxes, that's about item number 12 on the docket.
Don't call you Mystic Mike for nothing, though, right, Mike? You don't sell yourself short here. Mike Johnson for Pro-Am Sports this morning. Mike, we'll let you go. You're in Stockholm. You're working. You're having a little bit of leisure. Yep. I know you got the game coming on later this afternoon for us, but later tonight for yourself. Anything in between? You're just a little bit of prep leading up, or
No. What is it? It's 3:15. I got to be over there around 6 o'clock. So yeah, I'll just hang out, prep, chill, go for a walk, get some lunch, and then get ready for a game. It was a really fun game last night, and hopefully tonight will be the same.
Yeah, really appreciate your time abroad and joining us and making the time for us again, Mike. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of the trip.
All right, guys, enjoy your weekend and enjoy the Grey Cup.
Yes,
see you, Johnny.
You have a prediction? Quick prediction, Alouettes Bombers. What do you got?
I have chili at halftime. That's my
love it. I love it.
That's all I got for you.
Love it. Mike Johnson, Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned fan cave and fan gear specialist located St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of the Yellowhead, or online. You can visit them on the World Wide Web, proamsports.ca. Like you, Tom, they're fans too.
Hey, now.
And I might be paying them a visit over the weekend with the wife not being in town. It's easier to get to a place like that and just, instead of saying, I'm going out to purchase a sports memorabilia item for myself, with Christmas coming, I might be showing up there and getting a little something for myself because I deserve it.
You deserve it.
Nice
You've been
to treat
working
yourself.
hard.
It's, again, anytime you're kind of
what
alone,
are you in the mood for? Like, if you were to go in there and Jack and Ken are there, you're like, boys, show me something.
I have a few ideas enough to tell you off air. I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I'll run them by you, see what you think.
Okay.
But I don't want to go too public with them right now.
I respect that.
I might be getting a lot of hate mail.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
It's tough to move in the hockey verse here in this market, right? If it's not the orange and blue. I'm a fan of hockey. I love hockey. Love
fried chicken.
Love the sport. It's fried chicken. Field, ice, doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's going on in the nasty chat here?
Oh, we're having a day in the nasty chat. YouTube, you can watch
Why
us
am I doing weather?
live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio as well. Popeyes, you can get your hands on the Ghost Pepper Chicken Sandwich, a game changer on the menu at all Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen locations. Order on DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, and Uber Eats. They're building one by my house. Tom, did you know?
Popeyes?
Right down on 170th there. I'm done. I'm so done.
I noticed one right by my parents' new place, and I was like, perfect.
Taking over. They're taking over.
They're really good. So I highly recommend
Don't mind
Popeyes.
me
Well,
here.
you just plug it in.
Well,
Are
I
you
just
down?
have to,
Low battery?
Yeah, that's what happens usually at the end of this time. But we thank Mike Johnson for that one. Very smooth. Sometimes we have guests abroad. It can come. It's not as
Good Wi-Fi in Stockholm.
He is connected.
That's a
Whatever
great
that hotel is.
Yeah.
Props to the Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi was
There
great.
We got Rod Black coming up as well at the near the top of the hour. He is out in the Maritimes, but he'll talk a little Grey Cup, and as he does, like to always reunite Tom and Rod, good friends from way back in Canadian one Canadian broadcasting legend to another. That
we're
type of
in
thing.
two peas in a pod for sure.
It's a tight fraternity, but
Can you explain to those? Maybe there's some out there that have just joined us since we created EST and weren't there for the 1260 days. How this came to be? Because I had no connection to Rod Black whatsoever until 2 years ago, 2.5 when I was filling in for Dusty on this fine program.
I don't know where it kind of started.
You started it.
Yeah, I did.
Rod and I just hit it off.
You guys did. You had great chemistry.
Yeah,
and then since then, you developed. I mean, look, we're watching his son's baseball career.
He's my best friend.
Yeah, so we're keeping tabs on that, and we're waiting for the merch to fly up here. But Rod, and no stranger to the CFL scene.
I have some questions I want to ask him because he called the CFL for years and years. I believe he did the radio broadcast and was the voice in-house of the stadium wherever it was being held, the Grey Cup, that is, which is now the task of one Dustin Bartholomew Nielson. I had to get that in there. So I and Rod grew up in a, or he was working during the height of national sports broadcasters in our country. The 80s,
the mustache.
90s, early 2000s. And then
Blue
obviously
Jays,
things
the whole
have evolved. He's covered everything. He's been to Olympics. So there must be a few legendary tales from Grey Cup over the years that he's accumulated or created himself that I'd like to tap into. As we get set for next year's Grey Cup, EST will be on location. Awanix looking in here. Yes, I said it. We'll be on location next year, I think. And maybe we'll create our own memories of legendary proportions. But it would be tremendous if Rod Black could give us some guidance as to how one might do this and what he did in the past to become such a legend.
Memories also Glenn Suter's favorite place in Regina to take out Dustin Nielson. It's funny you mentioned that.
Well, they're very good friends.
Making memories at Memories. That's what we might be doing next year in Vancouver as well. I wanted to get to this just ahead of, I think Mr. Lean will be joining us here live in studio.
Yeah, he's stirring about.
Hotline. Here it is. Ayo, Tommy. This comes in from Loomis. Asked earlier, but do you have family down in Nashville? My fiance works at an engineering firm, and the owner is a Gazzola.
Wow.
So
no, I don't know. We do have some family in the U.S., but like none that we're affiliated with or keep tabs on. Like it was weird when the Gazzolas came off the boat from Italy.
Yes.
Some went to Vancouver. A couple came here to Edmonton and the area here. And then some went to Detroit. So maybe that's an offshoot. And they might have been cousins from the 50s. I don't know. But yeah, there are American Gazzolas that apparently we were affiliated with, but I don't know. Great name. Don't see a lot of Gazzolas out there, that's for sure.
No, it's not, or Gonzolas, as some might refer to it. You can, the spelling sometimes. I'll leave it at that.
Bozone Live this Sunday on Wild TV. I'll be in the host chair for season number 4. Jason Moss.
Is that me?
Grey Cup coach of the Montreal Alouettes on the program.
I will do a sports update. Let's do this. Sports update. Mr.
He's
Lean
throwing
will kind
stuff
of be getting
around.
in here. Yeah, he's getting mad.
Why are you mad?
He's getting fired up.
Settle down.
He's got a hot line for you here. He's got
now he's smiling.
You two are going to have a... all right, let's do a sports update for Park Maz. Then we'll get to Mr. Lean here coming up shortly. Week 11 of the National Football League kicking off last night. From Baltimore, it was the Ravens improving to 8-3. They defeat the Bengals 34-20. Bengals losing the game, as well as Joe Burrow. He would leave with a wrist injury and not return. The loss dropping Cincy to 5-5. Over to the NHL, where the Oilers will embark on a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow afternoon in Tampa. You can join Tom Gazzola tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 for live coverage of the Oil Stream pregame show right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Last night, Tampa doubling up Chicago 4-2. It was the Kraken over the Islanders 4-3. Kings defeating Florida 2-1, snapping the Panthers' 5-game winning streak. Vegas winning a marathon in Montreal 6-5 over the Habs, and the Flames surprisingly dumping the Canucks 5-2. Raptors back on the court tonight. They host Boston in group stage action from the in-season tournament. The Edmonton Oil Kings continue their 3-game road trip with a stop in Brandon tonight. They'll wrap the trip tomorrow night in Moose Jaw against the Warriors. And on the pitch this evening, quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League getting underway in Jamaica. It'll be Canada and Jamaica in the first leg. Kickoff 5 o'clock. The second leg will go Tuesday in Toronto. This sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. The problem Mitch has with selling cars in the winter is that it generally takes place in the winter.
Hi there.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Nielson Show, 725, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Lieutenant Eric, Tom Gazzola, and right in the middle, Mr. Lean? No, it's not Mr. Lean.
Not today.
Not lean.
You're not leaning.
Oh.
Yesterday, I'm not lean today. I am just full on bet.
Mr. Bet.
I think the mic's gonna have to be potted up there.
Matthew Betts.
There we go. I think
Matty,
that's
you're
a lot
good.
better.
Yeah, you're good.
Met you
There we
bets.
go.
There we go. Perfect. How are you guys today? This morning.
Doing great. Thanks for
We're
asking.
all- yeah, I'm
it
glad.
is game
Yeah.
day, so I'm kind of pepped up here.
Brendan Dunlop did message.
Uh-oh.
What did he say? That was great. Thanks very much for that. Give me a shout anytime.
Love it.
So we're
Sweet.
game to talk with Brendan Dunlop anytime.
You were great too, BD. Very good.
Very nice.
Great analysis.
Agreed.
I'm
So-
here for a reason.
What have we got?
It's the Cool Bet hotline of the day. For a cool bet, coolbet.com is where you could bet on sports, basically, in general. So we got to do a hotline today, but we also got to build an Edmonton Sports Talk parlay.
Okay.
And usually Dusty builds all these things. And, like, I'm Mr. Lean generally, but I think I'm going to need a little help with the parlay. So I was going to, like, throw some stuff
yeah,
out
us.
there. And we'll,
Captain Hunch is
and
over
we'll,
here
and
as
we'll
well.
crowdsource
Captain
it with the
Hunch.
nasty
Nasty
chat
chat,
and
I
the
mean, join in. Let's
Parrish
build this
inbox.
thing together.
But let's start with the hotline of the day. Nailed it yesterday. Odell Beckham Jr., over 25.5 yards. What did I say? He could do it all in one catch. His first catch was 29 yards. Boom, had over 100 yards. Easy. I'm 2-0 with the hotline of the day.
It's the Bills, yeah.
This is the thing, though, that bothers me because I worry about my record. I want to be 3-0.
Okay.
Well, you have a
I can't do it.
You have a reputation to uphold.
I know,
here,
but
eh?
this is one I can't. Canada, Jamaica today. Does it not scream a little bit of a draw?
Yeah.
You have no faith in our Canadian men's side?
No, but
about
that's
faith,
the thing.
but-
I can't go out there with the cool bet hotline of the day and go, our Canadian men's national team's going to draw against Jamaica tonight, and we're going to cheer for a draw tonight.
But it's making a
0-0.
smart pick. It doesn't all have to be wins. You can bet on a team.
So
losing.
that's
Yeah, you
where
want to make people money.
that's where the parlay is going to come.
Right. Here we go.
The hotline of the day, I'm doing it for Canada. Let's go.
Boom.
Canada beating Jamaica. First time since, 88 you had it as today?
1988, April 5th.
nation's
1988.
1988 plus 150. Let's have the cool bet hotline of the day being Canada over Jamaica for the first leg before they come to Toronto, where maybe a half of the stadium at BMO Field is going to be filled for
Ooh,
Canadian
you were
men's national
feisty
team.
about that yesterday.
Still annoyed.
I like it.
Still annoyed.
I like
now
it.
let's build the parlay. So on this one, I'm going to put the draw kind of in there. What we're going to do for the parlay, I think, is we'll do double chance. Canada/draw. So if Canada wins or it's a draw,
Okay.
we get the check mark for that one. Now
Best
we
of
got
both, yeah.
Oilers game tomorrow. I don't like the Oilers necessarily putting them as a win for a matinee game on the East Coast.
Game one of a trip.
Game one of a
Hey.
trip. So what I want to throw out there to the nasty chat, Parrish Jewelers inbox, maybe to you, Tommy.
Hello.
Maybe to you, Trev, as well. Oh, your mic's
Captain
I have-
Hunch.
I have his mic.
Oh,
on.
he's
yeah,
sleeping.
yeah.
Over under for this game. Do we go 5.5? Do we go 6.5? Where do we set the over under at on this one? Like
If it's
last year,
4.5
last year at
over.
home it was at 8 goals combined between the two.
Yeah.
There, I think I looked at it was 5.
Yeah.
Pump it
So pump it up?
I'm going over. I'll do the over.
6.5 or 5.5 though?
Anything.
What's the nasty chat in the inbox going to say then? We got to get that. We're a little delayed.
I'll do for the 6.5. I'll do 5.5, 6. I'm going over. I think there'll be a goal-a-palooza maybe.
Trav, your mic's not on, but what do you vote for? Over 5.5 goals tomorrow, over 6.5 goals tomorrow?
Over 5.5.
So we got 2 for over 5.5, 1 over for 6.5. Okay, let's right now put it at 5.5, unless people come in and say you guys are wrong. And we can bump that up.
Dan on the nasty chat says, I'm 0 for 5 on the lock shop. Harley's apartment parlays, Patty's prime time. Dang. Joe Belanaski says, Cap'n Hunch is almost as good as Flake Boy. He's laughing.
Just going at him. Just going at him. I think we got to go Grey Cup 2 here.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, of course.
Do we look at the total scores, or do you guys feel like the Owls could maybe do this and keep it within 8.5 points?
Man, I don't. I'm hoping.
Well, that's
and I think there's a thought too that you could have. Well, the defense has been playing really well, and it's a neutral site one-off championship game.
What did Chris Walby say? It seems like the Alouettes are just happy to be there.
Yeah, noted bomber player, analyst, Winnipeg. I mean, yeah, he'll.
That's bulletin board
That's
material.
bomber talk. That's bully ball that they've been playing here. But if you're looking to win money,
well, I don't mind. Like, if the Owls' defense shows up in this one, they cause just a couple. We're not talking about 9 turnovers. They're not getting 9 turnovers in this game. Yeah. But if they can get 2 turnovers, like now, weather's not a big factor in this one. Looking like I was looking high of 4,
beautiful day.
Low of like 0 or something. So it should be quite beautiful out in Hamilton. Or do we think there's going to be points scored? Do you think this is going to be a high-scoring game?
I mean, it could be from one side.
Well, that's.
I mean, you'll take Montreal's offense out of the equation. I think no offense to the people who play on that offense, but I just don't see that really going off. So it'd be special teams or defense from Montreal's standpoint. I mean, Winnipeg's the only offense I see really scoring points in the game. So,
Dell saying Owls will win. Book it. Book it.
Book it.
Zulu saying do it. Go with the Owls. Well, Alan is saying pick the under. Winnipeg has injuries.
I'd go with the under as well.
You think under? Under 47.5 points.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that.
Okay. Let's do the under instead.
Under.
So we got the under for the Grey Cup at 47.5 points. Over 5.5 goals for the Oilers tomorrow. We've got Canada double chance, win or draw today. There's one that I'm going to add in here because I think I have to just to piss
Vegas
off
manhole
Tommy.
covers?
No.
3.5? How many are popping here?
Will there be a single or a rouge?
Oh, my God.
I'm going with yes.
Of course.
I don't know if I could add this into this parlay. I think we can. I'm going to have to double check with Patty G. But I want to add, yes, there's going to be a rouge in this game.
Stupid rouge. So I was having a nice Friday.
I know. And that's why I brought it up.
What is wrong with you?
Because who doesn't want to see a rouge in the game?
Me. It's the CFL, baby.
There's someone's punting it into the end zone. Someone is missing a field goal and getting that point. Somehow a rouge is getting scored. It's minus 115. Adding that into a parlay, I think is just bumping up our value.
I put a rouge on my notes.
With a smiley face.
Unhappy face.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we've got the 4 things right now. We got Canada double draw. We got over 5.5 Oilers Lightning. We've got the under in the Grey Cup along with the rouge. Do we add one more in there and try to make this a little bit bigger? It's not the best odds.
Where are you looking?
Do we just take Max winning the Vegas GP?
Ooh. Are conditions
gonna be
unfavorable towards Red Bull at this track?
It could be a little favorable for Sergio. Maybe he's going to win. Max just wins.
Okay.
Right? Unless a
so you're saying
a
easy money
cover,
bet on Max.
I think would be the.
Well,
why don't you add that on?
Here's the thing though, like it's the odds aren't the best. It's like minus 250.
No,
it bumps up our thing just a little bit now with CoolBet because CoolBet are great partners. They're amazing. They gave us a little boost in our parlay just straight up. You get this, the number we're gonna get, you're gonna get nowhere else for this exclusive or this EST parlay. Is it a risk that because it's minus 250? It's not going to be the biggest bump we're going to get on it, but it will be a little bit of a bump. Do we just throw that in there and try to make this as big of a number as we can?
The doc says Lando first GP win in
Lando.
And Big Maple Sports Card says we're getting greedy. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Well, Dusty's not
you want to
here.
get nuts? Let's get
That's
nuts.
the thing, and I feel like do we just get nuts with all of this?
Yes, it's Grey Cup weekend. It's Friday. It's
how many races has okay? I don't know how many has he won? How many races has Max lost this year? Like 3?
Yeah,
and
2
then
or
one
3.
hand, it's you're counting on one
I
hand.
think
and
maybe
easily
3
with some digits left over.
And that long straightaway in Vegas.
Not a lot of chance to overtake in Vegas with this track, apparently.
Well, but the one like that car, the Red Bull car, is just
nothing
so good.
Beast.
Yeah. Unless a manhole cover beats it.
Right.
That could be the
Ruins
then
a
it's
chassis.
A push. Then it's a push.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a push.
I say do it. Why not? Look, the
Go
boss
for
ain't
it.
here. We're living free and easy.
So
It's
let's get nuts.
Big
What a
Duke
day
saying
yesterday
this
is.
parlay is all over the place, and I love it. So let's just I'll text Patty soon and see if we can fully get this done. But the cool bet hotline of the day: Canada beating Jamaica today, and then our EST parlay we're trying to build out here, and I'll see if we get this up. And sometime today, if we can, we'll throw out the number for you. So we've got Canada draw double chance for tonight's game. We've got what's for Oilers over 5.5 goals along with the Lightning tomorrow. And tomorrow night, Max Verstappen winning the Vegas Grand Prix. And then at the Grey Cup, we're under 47.5 points and also have that wonderful rouge that Tommy wants in this game.
Suck it.
This is just let's just go all over the place with this one and see what we can do.
Rouge.
And if it hits, we're laughing. We're laughing, Tommy. And it's all going to be because of the rouge. And you're going to love the rouge after this.
I will
We're going to
not
have a little
love
extra
the
crash.
Rouge.
We're going to have a little extra
Used to
crash.
love the rouge.
It's going to be great.
Where's Belzy when I need him?
He's going to be all over
You're
this
a man
one.
alone.
He is a smart enough man to know that while the rouge is not something he wants in this game, this is something you add to this parlay to give us some value.
Hello Hockey tomorrow morning is just going to be the two of you
We're going to
punting the rouge out of here. Hey,
Loving this parlay. Loving this
This is
parlay.
great. I love the energy.
You're
We're good with
needling.
this?
You just
I'm great with this.
I'm great with
Yes,
it.
whatever.
I'll text Patty.
You tell me.
See what we can do. There's your Cool Bet hotline of the day. Again, when that's up there, coolbet.com, go to exclusives. It'll just say Edmonton Sports Talk Parlay. You click that, and there's going to be our number. We'll see what we can get the boys to do for us there. And then the hotline of the day. I am 2-0 at the hotline. We'll see if the Canadian boys right there, Canadian crest, if they could do it out in Jamaica. Big match today, 5 o'clock. We will be at the Pine on White. Come join us. There you go.
Zulu says if the rouge doesn't hit, Tommy is going to own you. I think this weekend really is coming. I mean,
I'm going to
all
nail.
of the rest
we're
of this
going to
is,
nail four
yeah.
things, and there's going to be no rouge.
Hallelujah.
This could be a definitive weekend here.
Then I'll be all on with you, Tommy, moving forward. No more rouge in the CFL.
Oil 5 Darling says this is a greedy parlay.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but that's
Very
because our
aggressive.
boss isn't here, and we're going to go greedy.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Have fun with the rest of the show, boys.
Thank you, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by. Matthew Wanek. He's getting a standing O from LTE. Get in on that. Visit our partners at CoolBet. Excellent stuff. Yeah, get that out of there. Coming up later on the show, Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. I'm looking forward to that. Rod Black coming up as well. Broadcast legend. And more of your text, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat. This one from Vekin the Great. Imagine the Rouge chases the over on that parlay. Dang.
Oh.
Yeah.
If that's man, don't say that. We don't need that scenario popping up. What's the likelihood of that? happening?
Yeah, but you know what's weird in the nasty chat is how they have like the heart or the emojis, and it always cuts out the corner of the most recent text.
And it's always the most important word in that text.
Yes.
Rod Black just on the way. He is in Moncton this week for the Atlantic Slam, featuring some NCAA men's teams. Prep tourney, which includes the Czech National Academy as well, out east for Rod Black. So he, again, Canadian broadcast legend, he knows no boundaries, right? Like he knows there's nothing the man can't do or won't try.
Creates the boundaries.
Well, that's just it, defines them, yes. Moncton this week for Atlantic Slam is Rod Black. He is scheduled to join us just coming up here momentarily. Talk a little Grey Cup with him as well leading up to the weekend. And the big game Sunday, the 110th Grey Cup Argonauts, Blue Bombers and Alouettes. I just got Chad Kelly on my mind. Mm-hmm. That's all I had in my mind from last night.
The George Reed MOP.
The George Reed MOP. Congratulations to him, as well as Ryan Dinwiddie taking home Coach of the Year, Matthew Betts, the outstanding defensive player from your BC Lions, and Brady Oliveira taking home the most outstanding Canadian award last night at the CFL Awards ceremony. And I mean, Dustin, I didn't see any, there was no Technicolor suit or anything he was wearing.
Know. Did you see him? Did you get a Dusty?
I'm not
cameo?
getting the juice I thought I'd be getting from Dustin Bartholomew Nielsen out in Hamilton for Grey Cup week. I'm just not feeling it.
Very subdued.
Very
appearance.
I said kind of like a circus animal. I viewed him yesterday in that hotel, pigeoned in there. And I'm in Niagara. I'm going to go for a walk along the riverfront.
I'm going to do a hit from the Niagara Falls.
No, you should be, you know.
Lovely backdrop.
No, I get that, but I mean, it's just
you're there for Coupe
this doesn't feel like a Grey Cup for me from his point of view yet, but Rod's good. Rod is good to go. Right. Rod Black, Canadian broadcast legend, joining us here, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the Nielson Show. Rod, how you doing, man? Where are you at? Let us know what's going on in your part of the world.
Yeah. Good morning to you guys. I guess I should be. Usually I'm in a Grey Cup city, but I'm actually in Moncton, New Brunswick, of all places, for an NCAA event. It's called Atlantic Slam. It features 4 NCAA teams: Colgate, Yale, Gardner Webb, and Weber State. So it's an ESPN event, and I think it's on one of the TSN channels, one of the many. TSN 12, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. Ocho, something like that. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. I love college hoops, and I'll be, unfortunately, this is one of the first Grey Cups I'm going to miss in a long time. I'll be watching it, hopefully with some good Air Canada Wi-Fi on Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, Tom Gazzola here. How dare you speak ill of our old business daddy? I'm kidding. I was gonna say,
why would we ever speak ill of any of our previous infamous, fabulous employers? Hey. Rings a bell, doesn't it?
Alrighty,
yeah.
So did I go there?
Yeah.
I went there.
That's okay.
I
love it. Rod, great to hear from you as always. I kind of teased this earlier. I was like, hey, we have to ask Rod about like some great Grey Cup stories, because I mean, you lived through an excellent period in sports broadcasting at the height of your game, and you still are there. But when the broadcasters, the national networks were the be all end all, what are some of your favorite Grey Cup memories? Maybe not from the field.
Goodness. I don't know, guys. I went to about 25 or 30 of them, and broadcast probably, half of those. Probably one of my first Grey Cups when I first got into business, like 82 and 83. I like, just because I did some sideline stuff and some reporting stuff for the local station in Winnipeg. But frankly, I never quite made it back in time for my next day job, and I quickly found out why it was called the National Drunk. And they always have these newspaper reporters that would always have, the Football Reporters of Canada would have their suite, which was, free booze. And if, there's no nation like donation, and if it's free, if it's for me, as we know in the media. So, yes. And unfortunately, I was partaking quite a bit in those days. I think in 1988, I remember coming back from the Bombers Grey Cup in Ottawa, their victory, and I remember distinctly, even though I don't remember anything probably about the night before, I remember distinctly sitting in a chair because security had such a lengthy line. And I remember talking with some of the people that were there, Dave Hodge and others, Steve Simmons, and then I fell asleep and I never made my flight. And not only did I not make that flight, I didn't make the next flight. But there's so many stories. I mean, I think maybe my favorite one is 1999. Last time the Hamilton Tiger Cats won the Grey Cup, and I was actually not working that game, but I was at the Cup, and we were in Vancouver doing an NBA game. Leo Routens and I were doing a Houston Rockets Vancouver Grizzlies game at the time, and of course our good buddy Charles Barkley was there, which was classic. And so we did the game at noon, and I said to him, "Dude, do you want to come to a football game?" "I ain't going to no Canadian football game." So we went for about till halftime, third quarter. He loved it. We ended up at this infamous a great religious place. It's actually a religious place called the Roxy.
Oh yes, and I've gone there to church a couple of times. Yeah,
so it's a classic story. It's been told a few times before. So Barkley and I and a few others, we shut that place down. We saw the Tiger Cats and won the Grey Cup. By the way, maybe it might be the curse of Barkley, because that's the last time they won. Anyway, we're sitting there with only Barkley, myself. Boy, I'm name dropping today. I hate name droppers.
That's
man.
Okay. Eric will pick those
I
off.
hate name droppers. I hate them. You know what? I said that. I said that yesterday to Justin Bieber. Anyway, so we're sitting at the bar with the bartender, Charles, and myself. It's like after midnight, and the door's locked. And all of a sudden, there's a banging on the door, and it's Mike Moriali, Danny McManus, Carl Coulter, about five Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Your Hamilton Tiger Cats, yeah.
And alongside the Grey Cup. So they bring the Grey Cup into the Roxy. There's 5 of us and Charles. And so Charles Barkley, of course, is one of the greatest NBA players and analysts of all time, but he's never won diddly squat, right? He's none beyond an Olympic gold medal, the Dream Team, but yes. I don't know. I think he sold that at Vegas. Anyway, he gets in, and we're having a great time. We end up drinking out of the cup. I think that's the only time I ever actually drank out of the cup because it wasn't actually working. And then I'll never forget Chuggles. He says, "Man, I can't believe it. Thrill of a lifetime, man. I just drank out of the gay cup." You can't make that up. And it was classic. And again, those are kind of stories. I think I will tell you, one thing I love about the Grey Cup is the mosaic of fans that. It's just not really one-sided. Even in a home park, there's so many different fans that come from all over, and I just think they're all snowflakes. Every Grey Cup has its a little chapter, and I do think that this week's Grey Cup will have its own chapter. I know Winnipeg's very favored in this one, and they've had this incredible run, but there's something about the Montreal Alouettes that would scare me, and I think that the Bombers really have to get off to a good start if they want to make it 3 in the last 4.
Well, I think every Grey Cup, Rod, right? Like sometimes you do get that dream matchup of who should be there, but then some years you get the matchup of that big giant and then the plucky underdog, which I think everybody across the nation really kind of buys into and says this is a story. Yeah.
You know what I think too, guys? I think it's so dependent on weather. It's just such a one-off. It reminds me of an NCAA championship because it is a one-game thing, right? Ask the Argos who last week, had that bye, and I do think there's something to be said for playing every week if you're an underdog. That's what I like about the Alouettes right now. They're playing every week, and they got some rhythm, and they've got some momentum. And I just think that, if all season long you've played in front of good crowds, but you haven't played in front of a Grey Cup crowd. Yeah. And it's just different. Everything's different. Your routine is different. The stadium often is a neutral site stadium for teams. There's a lack of familiarity. There's pomp and circumstance. There's a flyover. There's some famous person singing the anthem. There's a famous person kicking it off. And it's hard to really maintain focus, especially for young teams. And then you see that Grey Cup come into the building, and your some body parts start to shrink a little bit, and it's all and every mistake is magnified because it is a one game affair. And just look through the history. You can go through the upsets, and you can also see some of the favorites that stomped. But man, anything can happen and will happen in a Grey Cup game. It's absolutely insane. Come November in Canada, expect chaos at a Grey Cup game.
Yeah. Rod Black joining us now, broadcast legend, our good friend. And Rod, when it comes to this game, there are some injuries mounting for the Bombers, some key ones certainly.
Which is a huge factor.
Totally. And it seems like these Alouettes that Jason Moss has humming, and the intensity that he brings obviously will be paramount. They seem to be taking flight, for a lack of a better term, at the right time of the season, peaking and reaching that crest. Like, are they as big of an underdog as some might peg them to be right now?
No. And, look at just how long it took them to gather steam in the East. They've rolled off these 7 in a row or whatever. And, it took a while to gather some steam in the East, and the Argos were off and running and chasing this record. And by the way, those records, they mean diddly squat come Grey Cups. Ask them. Even look last year when they were the underdog going into a Grey Cup game. I don't think the Alouettes are as big an underdog. They've got a tremendous defense, and you said the name Jason Moss. I mean, Jason Moss and Mike O'Shea. They won Grey Cups together as coaches back in 2012. I remember doing that game, and I thought, they're going to be fantastic coaches someday, and they both are. And they both are players' coaches. Jason is a little more intense than probably Osh is, but Osh has a real inner fire. But I don't have to look at the people in Edmonton. Just ask what Jason Moss did there, and he became a legend there under a Hall of Fame quarterback in Ricky Ray, and he's a winner. And he gets the best out of teams, and he's a no nonsense guy. He throws F-bombs around to the players, to the media, whatever. I've always loved the way he coaches. He rubbed some media members the wrong way, but too bad, they're soft. Who cares? You're a media member. Like, you ever played the game before? And I understand it. He doesn't condescend, but at the same time, unless you've played the game at the highest level, you get that sense that what he's saying is kind of eyewash. Mm-hmm. So he saves his best for last, and there's something, Cody Fajardo. Look at all the little connections. Cody Fajardo, again, a Grey Cup champion in Toronto. Zach Collaros, Grey Cup champion, also in Toronto before this run began, where he has absolutely become a Hall of Fame quarterback. If you went back 10 years, guys, and you said, okay, Zach Collaros, yep, he's and by the way, probably should be an MVP every year, and nothing against Chad Kelly, but what Zach Collaros has done the last 4 years is legendary. If somebody said that to you 10 years ago when he went through his injuries and everything else, coming out of Cincinnati, they would say no. Yeah. It goes to show you how the game can turn. So, I would not discount Montreal a bit, but the factor I do believe will be also of somebody like a Zach Collaros if Winnipeg is able to nail this down.
Rod, just going to last night as well, and the awards dished out at the awards ceremony. Chad Kelly taking home the MOP. The George Reed Most Outstanding Player. You had Ryan Didwitty earning Coach of the Year. Brady Oliveira up against Kelly, but he gets the Outstanding Canadian, and Matthew Betts from the Lions, Outstanding Defensive Player. You cool with these, how they were handed out, who got them and everything? I know there was a bit of debate on our show leading up to these awards, and but do you think everybody kind of got their award and the one they should have gotten? Or?
Yeah, I think I've always thought, and I go back to my old pal Dwayne Ford, who I miss miserably, but I don't miss all the meals. But Dwayne always has, and we both kind of came up with a format. I think they should go to what something like the NHL does. I like the East and West thing for the Grey Cup. I've never changed that. I don't, however it works. And, have two divisions, never go to one division. That makes no sense. It's a, we need those rivalries. But I do like the idea of having three finalists. And they could be from the same team. I think the awards can't be split East and West. I really don't, because there are so many different. But if you have three, it could be three MVPs could come from the same team. Yeah. So how does that work? And we've seen it before. I've seen years where an offensive lineman has won the Most Outstanding Lineman and didn't even make the All-Star team. Again, it goes to show you how the voting is a little flawed. I'm okay with all of it based on their work. But I do think if you had to have three finalists, it might have been a little bit different. You might have split some votes. I'm also not a big believer. Like, I know the Coach of the Year is always kind of the guy who has either the best record or somebody who does something unforeseen with the team at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Guys, in every sport, there's only one Coach of the Year. In every sport, it's the team that won the championship. I've always believed that. They should always wait on the Coach of the Year. But I will also tell you there's a bit of a curse on the awards. I saw it a few years ago when Calgary galloped into a Grey Cup and they had all this momentum and they had I think they swept the award winners. Well, they got stomped. So, and I don't see a lot of Argo representation in Hamilton this week, beyond the fans. So, the awards are nice. And I'm happy for a guy like Brady Oliveira, who I've watched, as a high school football player in Winnipeg to UND. And he has become the third coming, I guess, Andrew Harris and then John Cornish. But it's nice. But hey, the big prize is the one coming Sunday.
Yep. Rod, you're out in the Maritimes, and I think we're awaiting a 10th team in the CFL here. Do you get a sense that this is actually going to happen? And it feels like there's a little bit of good momentum going. What are you feeling right now?
Well, good momentum going, but it's been slow. This thing's been like glacier-like over the years. Full disclosure, I have a very close friend who was involved in the bid for the Schooners, Bruce Bowser, who, I've had some pretty good intel through the years. And they, I just, for whatever reason, and whether it's governmental, stadium, all of that, I'm in Moncton. I remember doing Touchdown Atlantic events in Moncton, and I love Moncton. By the way, I love the Maritimes. but there's only one city and they always said, go to Moncton. We're going to Moncton. We're going to put a CFL team there. We're going to have Touchdown Atlantic because this is the hub where everybody can drive to. Guys, I don't know about you. I don't drive 20 minutes because if I got a TV set there, and that's the way people think now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not driving 2 hours to go to a game unless they're, like die-hard fans. So I think, Halifax is always the logical place. I think it's a natural CFL city. I just think so. There's been things that have plotted against them in the past. And I think there's this anti-CFL sentiment. I think it will be fabulous there. You've seen what they've done when they did do the Touchdown Atlantic in the smaller stadium. I think you need a smaller stadium as well. You don't need even a 25,000 seat stadium. I would say between a 15 to 18,000 seat stadium. Fill that thing. I can't imagine anything better than going to a CFL game a Sunday afternoon somewhere, either on the Dartmouth side or in Halifax near the Citadel, or even at St. Mary's if they build up the stadium and enjoying, some lobster after, the parties will be incredible. It's natural. We need a 10th team. We need Halifax. And Randy Ambrosi, I think, has done a really good job as a commissioner through the years. He's been a real steadying force. He's had some really tough things to do. But I do think this is kind of, this is the post that, he wants to die on, is this one, is that he wants to bring a team, and try as they might, they just haven't been able to take it to the next step. So I think there is a little more momentum, but dude, rewind the interview to last year, Tom and Lieutenant. I'm sure we talked about it last year. I talked about it the year before, and I always thought they were close. COVID really disrupted whatever steam they had.
Yep.
And so I think some of those people some of those investors have fallen back a little bit, and they've got some buyer's fear. I wouldn't be afraid. Then they got big money out here, like McCain's and the Irvings and, whoever.
Right.
Get a team here. It'd be fantastic. It'd be absolutely fantastic.
It's going to happen, Rod. I can feel it in my loins. We appreciate your time this morning. A visit, though, from you wouldn't be complete, though, Rod, without an update on your boy.
I know this is coming.
Yes.
I know this is coming.
And an update on him and an update on the merchandise that's in transit.
Yeah. Well, because I don't know what merchandise to get you guys now. I'm going to have to bring it in. I mean, FedEx is, I got to find a way to get it to you. But I would say, you said former broadcaster. Yeah, broadcaster who used to be, Tyler used to be Rod Black's son. Now I'm Tyler Black's dad. So he's doing great. He's doing great. He's back home training. He's been back and forth. Interesting times for his team. They got a new manager. I know he was getting ready for a possible call up late in the season, and he's gearing up to try to get on that roster, and I think he thinks he's ready. And it's going to be a very interesting winter. I'll tell you one thing, I'm just watching him every day and watching how he works and being around pro sports. I can understand how of a dream it is for sure, but the level of commitment, the level of grind, the level of work from, not only him, but all of the players, people don't see that. They only see spring training, but they don't see what goes on in the off season. So he's busy, and he's getting at it.
He's going to make that MLB debut. You're going to be there, Rod. It's going to be fantastic.
Maybe Charles Barkley will join you, too.
Maybe Charles Barkley will join you. He'll be more adamant.
Especially if it's the Brewers, because, that's a perfect connection for Chuck.
Yeah, exactly. I just assumed, Rod, that you did send us the gear, but you sent it to our old building, and there's no receptionist there because they got rid of her, too.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what, though? Great that everything is turned around for all of you guys. And, you have sports radio back there again, especially in the market. I'm sure you got to go here, but what really is driving me crazy, I'm out here in this great place, big province. And, I tried to watch the Thursday night football game last night in one of the many, many channels that they have, but they don't have it because it's not in a region. I mean, we're so far and beyond that, we've got to find ways, and we've got to have more sports and more sports radio in all of our markets that, include the local market. And it's not just American programming. I mean, we got a big country, we got huge sports fans. I mean, we're at a turning point. I don't have to tell you guys that, radio is a lot different than it used to be, but it doesn't mean that we should be taking, an imported model and just worrying about the United States sports scene all the time.
Right.
We've got a tremendous sports scene, and that's highlighted this week again by what I think is one of our major championships, the Grey Cup.
Beauty. Love it, Rod. Bless you and bless all the work you do. Enjoy the rest of the tournament out in the Maritimes and enjoy Grey Cup. Prediction as well for the game, quickly, if you will.
I'm a pegger. So I know my family would kill me if I say. I'm going to say it's close. I'm going to say it's close. I'm going to say it's a lot closer than people think. But this Bomber team, it really kind of reminds me of that Montreal team back. When was the last time they won?
2010, yeah.
That's 2010. That's a long time. So, but during that time they were winning a lot. This team, that Montreal team, this Winnipeg team reminds me of that Montreal era.
Ah, yes.
That was, they're just dominant. They just win. So I say it'll be close, and probably a little lower scoring than you think. Just two really good defenses. So we'll see. I'm sure I'm wrong, but that's why I'm not a betting insider.
Enjoy the game. Enjoy the rest of the tournament. We look forward to the merchandise eventually arriving in the mail, Rod.
Cheers, boys.
See you later, Charles.
Weekend. Enjoy the Grey Cup, or whatever Charles calls it.
Rod Black, there, Canadian broadcast legend. That
I love
nailed the Barkley impression.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I thought it was Chuck on the line there for a bit.
I thought so. I was like, oh man.
We thank Rod for his time. Yes. Anytime he'll, especially because it's you. I always reach out when Dustin's there and he says, no, thank you. But then I mentioned Tom's in the seat and he says, what time?
What time? Oh, I appreciate that. He is awesome. Always has great stories. I love that. We'll pick up those names that he just dropped. I got them.
You need a wheelbarrow to collect them all here.
I wanted him to tell me, I was going to ask what other obscure names that we didn't expect to show up at the Grey Cup in Hamilton would end up there. And I would have asked that because there was the Grey Cup in Regina of 2013. And Martin Short brings Tom Hanks to it.
Yes.
Right?
I think it was Peter King, Sports Illustrated. Was he sniffing around there? I know he was up here covering some CFL stuff. Yeah. But I think Rod, too, you're just scratching the surface on. Right. I know we talk about Dave Jameson writing a book, and he should, about his CFL tales and stories.
Write that book.
But I think Rod's book would be
that'd be wild.
That'd be like you're talking Michael Crichton earlier. I think that's a novel.
Give me the Rod Black
chapters.
Book.
Yeah.
Please.
No pictures.
Thank you.
No pictures. If you want to play kind of easy trivia this morning, I do believe we're doing it the same way. You text in Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999, and YouTube Trev will pick somebody to play this morning. It's not Matthew Iwanek. It's YouTube Trev behind the monitors and the everything else here. So
do you want me to ask the questions again today?
Yes.
Okay.
Tommy will set you up. I'll knock you down. I got the ticker. We're playing for $25 to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. That will be on the line. So text in 780-218-9999. Why you want to play. I don't care what you do. This is now your strategy to get into YouTube Trev's good books. Whatever you want to say in the text to try to enhance your odds of getting on and playing kind of easy trivia, do so right now. 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. Send in a text. Be somebody. Sign it with a name. Play kind of easy trivia this morning. $25 to Mr. Mike's is on the line. YouTube Trev will grab somebody. And I think a sports update for United Sport and Cycle. If we can do that, I'll get into that. And YouTube Trev will find somebody. We'll be back after the top of the hour playing the trivia, doing the 3 questions too many. And Scott Laurie from Sobeys and Safeway Liquor as well will be in to take us home. But a sports update first for United Sport and Cycle. The Edmonton Oilers embarking on a 4-game road trip, which begins tomorrow in Tampa. Tom Gazzola will get you set tomorrow with the Oil Stream pregame show. Coverage begins at 12:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Action last night saw Tampa double up Chicago 4-2. Sharks dropping the Blues 5-1. The Flames dumping the Canucks 5-2. Vegas win out in Montreal 6-5 over the Habs. Kings hanging on to defeat Florida 2-1. And the Kraken over the Islanders 4-3. Week 11 in the NFL kicking off last night from Baltimore. The Ravens improving to 8-3. They defeat the Bengals 34-20. Joe Burrow leaving the game with a wrist injury and would not return the loss, dropping Cincy to 5-5. The Raptors back on the court tonight. They'll host the Celtics in group stage action of the in-season tournament. Oil Kings, they continue their road trip tonight with a stop in Brandon. They'll wrap up the trip tomorrow night in Moose Jaw against the Warriors. And on the pitch later tonight, it'll be Canada visiting Jamaica. Quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League. It is the first leg. The second leg will go Tuesday back in Toronto. Kickoff tonight, 5 o'clock. If you're looking for somewhere to watch this one, you can join myself and scattered members of the EST crew out at the Pint just off White Ave. This sports update for United Sport and Cycle, your home of hockey for over 95 years. For Edmonton Sports Talk, this is the Nielson Show. Lieutenant Eric with you alongside Tom and Gazzola, YouTube Trev as well. He's getting somebody for kind of easy trivia, which we will be executing in a matter of minutes here. It is looking to be a nice weekend here. 12 degrees is that. 12 degrees, Tommy, on your November 17th.
Wow.
It'd be a good weekend for a Grey Cup here in Edmonton. Hey, why not? It'd be a nice weekend. Pretty much the same temperatures out in Hamilton as well for the big game Sunday, but 12 degrees for a high this afternoon, 10 for tomorrow, and 9 wrapping up the weekend here in Edmonton. So get out and enjoy the temps. We do go back down to the minuses, -2, -3, -4s, that type of thing next week, but still nice conditions. So nice weekend temperature-wise to get out, finish any. I made a pact with myself, and you weren't in earlier in the week. I was debating whether or not to leave the leaves on my lawn or not. I will be removing them from my lawn this Saturday.
Somebody suggested that you shouldn't because they help insulate for the bugs.
For every, yeah, and it is true. I mean, the bugs, but for every suggestion to keep it, there's a suggestion to get rid of it. So it's like a 50-50. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna look.
You do what your heart tells you to.
Yeah, well, or what the wife. I mean, more importantly,
do what Danny says.
Do what Danny says. But I have a leaf blower. I'll blow them all up and do a few trimmings. I'll get that yard and it's going to look spiffy. You do all the work tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. It's going to be beautiful. You get all that out of the way, and you enjoy Grey Cup Sunday, how it should, right? Day of rest, that type of thing. But you're ready to go, kind of easy trivia,
yep.
Right? If you have any questions as well, and I do stress that when Tom is in, this is your chance to ask Tom, who used to travel with the Oilers. Questions for 3 questions to me. I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but you're our Rod Black.
What's the first rule of Fight Club?
Ooze it out. Yeah, but you can say Mr. X and did this and Mr. Y. You don't need to. We can blur, hide the faces, hide the names. You can tell the story in the robot voice if you.
Joe Belinaski says I'm a man of 1,000 voices. I disagree. I have 2.
You and Rod Black with his Charles Barkley.
That was fantastic. I cannot do a Charles.
Can you do Rod Black doing Charles Barkley as Rocky Balboa?
No, not at all.
The true stack.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
And hit that like button as well on the YouTube. People are kind of. We're not really
quieter Friday.
Yeah, but people get mad when the likes don't get up. So
get those likes up.
Hit the sub, hit the like. Why not? Doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, it's all for the algorithm. That's the thing.
Duh. Who's playing?
We are ready. And we have Nathan, but he goes by Big Uke.
Big Uke.
Oh, Big Uke.
All right. Love it.
All right, Big Uke. What's going on? Good morning, Big Uke. What are you doing, man?
Well, just living the dream, boys.
Big Uke, you better get 5 for 5. Otherwise, we're not giving you this $25 GC to Mr. Mike's. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, boy. Pressure's on now.
Yeah, it is.
With Tommy questions? Oh, boy.
They're good. They're easy questions. You'll get this, pal. You ready to do it? I'm going to assume that's a yes. Okay, ready?
He's ready.
All right, here we go. Big Uke, which teams are playing in the 110th Grey Cup this weekend?
Montreal and Winnipeg.
Zach Collaros is the quarterback of which CFL team?
Winnipeg.
Who do the Oilers play tomorrow afternoon?
Tampa Bay.
Does Canada face Jamaica tonight in soccer action?
They're going to beat the hell out of them.
Oh, is Dustin's middle name actually Bartholomew?
I like to believe it is.
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
Something wrong, Yank.
Now McDavid's got the pocket. He's got Drysdale with him. It's a
Hi, this is Alan Mitchell for My Pillow.
He's done it again!
I'm gonna have a beer.
He's got an imaginary parrot that sort of carries around with him as he trots around the bases.
Movies.
These silky sharks are normally ocean-going species.
If you like pina coladas.
Big deal at the Rogers Center up in Toronto. The fans bring stuffed parrots and
Movies.
rest them on their forearms in the hopes that Encarnacion will hit a home run.
While I was in
Cleveland. For movies.
Brazil.
For movies. For movies.
Brazil.
The big guy is smoking hot.
For movies. For movies. For movies.
My Pillow.
On
My Pillow.
For movies.
Brazil.
For movies.
On My Pillow.
And Hall is not in the top 50. I looked it up.
What is the point of all this?
Why am I a goat, Dustin?
Bob the Goat, R.I.P.
Oh, man. That was a good one.
that
I've never
was
heard that
something.
one either.
Ooh. Yeah, we're really
Deep cuts,
we're going
man.
back in time here. Shout out to everybody that made that. There is a theme and pattern in there relating to something that happened in the sporting world at that time, and if you picked it up, good on you. I'll tell you after the.
Please do.
It'll make you giggle. I guarantee it. Yes, congratulations to Big Uke and winning the kind of easy trivia. He's going to Mr. Mike's, $25. As Trevor Savage was there the other day. Did you see that tweet from his? He had the sirloin bites and he had some nice tropical girly drinks as well. You know, you had the slushy, you know, that Kids in the Hall, the girl drink drunk skit or whatever when he goes out and just gets all the tropical. But he looked like he was having a great time, and you can too. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. You can check them out, and Big Uke, enjoy your time at Mr. Mike's. Even better, tweet us a picture of what you're eating and drinking. Send it to us so we can, carve you up as we just did with Trevor Savage.
Sirloin bites.
Yes. And now it is time for 3 Questions Too Many, if you're ready, Tom. 3 Questions Too Many. Yeah, brought to you, as always, by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he's campaigning to have a Park Mazda room at next year's Grey Cup in Vancouver. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. I'm pretty sure that they could somehow find their way to Vancouver and rent out some sort of small space, even if it's a room in between 2 rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Like I found out in Calgary, when you could go from the Lions room to the Ryderville room through a shared bathroom.
Weren't you being chased by security, or was that Lucas still?
No, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah, because I kept using that bathroom as the...
Uh-huh.
I didn't have to pay.
Oh, you didn't want to pay.
Well, why do you...
Don't they know who you are?
Communal bathroom, right? Why wouldn't you take advantage of that one?
Good point.
But question number 1, and it does go to the Grey Cup. Who or what will be the main talking point come Monday following the championship game? Who or what?
What will be the main talking point is how Winnipeg blew that opportunity. Who will be discussed?
Ooh, I love it.
Cody Fajardo, Grey Cup champion. Or Danny Machocha and Jason Moss combining for a Grey Cup as GM and coach.
I think there's a segment of the fan populace out here that would love to see Machocha and Moss. No? Do well?
More so Moss, I think.
More so Moss, perhaps.
A little bit of redemption.
I know there's a Machocha. Machocha's kind of maybe a bad taste in the mouth, but I mean, he had good times here. You can't fault the guy for that. He tried.
I think if, and maybe already he's kind of proven he can put together a good team, because he's kind of rebuilt this Alouette squad on the fly.
Did good work with U Sport as well in the Caravan.
Yeah, did he not win the Vanier with the Caravan? Yeah. So I think this is a bit of a redemption story for him, and then certainly for Jason Moss as a head coach in the CFL, if they can win the Grey Cup. I think that's what we'll talk about, and then maybe some of the doubters will be a little quieter, because Machocha in his era here in Edmonton still gets heat, and rightly so, because he took over a pretty damn good team from Tom Higgins and did win the 05 Grey Cup, and then subsequently the team went in the poops.
It's I like your theory. I'm buying for it with the result on the field and everything. I'd love for that to be the storyline coming in Monday. I'm going to go with Green Day.
Oh.
I'm going to go with something happening during that, and that's why I go with the what. It's kind of a who too, but the what in the halftime show. I'm kind of feeling like the skidoos going over the ramps again, like the Shania Twain dog sledding thing. I know it's Green Day, and they don't really have to do anything else outside of show up and perform. I mean, that would be good enough, I guess. But I'm kind of hoping for something a little magical, a little like
do they drop an F-bomb and then never return to the CFL stage again?
Profess their love for the Rouge before a song. Hey, we got a new one for you. It's coming off our new album, and it's called Le Rouge. And then it's a 2-minute ditty, and it maybe goes back to like their original, more punky roots. That's something I'd say something either from the kickoff, the anthem, or the halftime. I really like these championship games. Kind of a nerdy point. And watching how it all comes together from a production standpoint, right?
It's cool.
Because there's so much planning going in, and from the player introductions and all of that stuff, and the smoke going. I love how it all comes together in the production. But given it's Canada and given it's the CFL, there's always some wiggle room for something weird to happen that's unforeseen.
I know,
right?
It's too bad.
But I like that. That's the league, and that's everything I love about the Canadian game. There's always a bit of
Canadian.
craziness to it, right?
Yeah.
The unforeseen. Question number 2. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go racing. What is one thing, who or what will be the biggest talking point come Monday? Maybe you already have one, but...
Yeah, the manhole covers. I think this will determine this race this weekend in Vegas, how well it goes or how poorly it goes will determine whether or not this thing has any lasting power, because I know it's disrupted the city. The locals are pissed off beyond belief about it, and it sounds like, I get the sense that they don't want it. But if it's a showcase and it's brilliant and it's well done, then I think that it looks like it'll extend to the 10 years, which they want to make the deal for. And if it doesn't go well, it'll have its 3-year run and they'll be done, and they'll have that huge paddock area, and they'll just be a big warehouse building after F1 leaves. So this is a make it or break it weekend for Vegas, and I think that's what's going to be discussed. If it was a success, they'll extend it to the 10 years. If it's not a success, it'll get its 3-year run, which is the current contract, I believe, and that'll be it.
Like, it's all about money, right? And if the right people, if the right money's flowing to the right channels, and everybody's happy and everybody's greased in that regard, like you can have your manhole covers and all that. I do think it's funny that is the point of concern right now when you're talking Vegas. And again, talking from a production standpoint, the glitz, the glamour, the showmanship of this event, and you're getting street hole covers that are popping off. I find it all very fascinating.
They literally repaved the entire track, which goes down the strip, all on very busy streets in Las Vegas. If you're not familiar with it, they've redone it, and it created havoc for the last 6 months in Las Vegas when it comes to traffic. They had to build a temporary bridge over one of the streets.
This is like buying a very expensive nice blazer and wearing a pair of jeans, right? You're kind of you've got it all dressed up. You got the shoes, you got the blazer, you got the hair, you got the look.
It's a mess.
And then it's the jeans that really sideline you here.
You killed it.
If anything, though, this will be something. Again, I'm just watching for these types of things now. Vegas never sleeps. Neither does Formula One when it's in Vegas.
Yep.
The races are going on overnight.
Yep.
To pacify the European audience. I like this, and as Max Verstappen said, it's 99% show. Right. This is all for show.
First Saturday race in F1 since I think it was 1985. 680 straight Sunday race weekends. Disrupted for 99% show, 1% race.
In the last, and I just want to get to this too, and we do have a few people chiming in throughout the morning. 780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox where you could text and get in conversations with us. Various people asking where... Not seeing the soccer game tonight on the Sports Network or Sportsnet or any of these other stations on terrestrial media that associate with sport. One Soccer is where you'll be able to find the game tonight, the match, if you will. And again, that's kind of like most sports now. It's a pay-to-subscription based. It's a specified. With One Soccer, you do get CPL action and everything bundled together. But for the purposes of tonight in Canada, Jamaica, One Soccer is your home. Not any of the other broadcast partners here around the country. But also, if you don't want to do that and you're looking to kind of juice this thing up a bit instead of watching at home on your own, come join us at the Pine Off White tonight. We'll be there. They'll be broadcasting the game. You don't got to go through the process if you don't want of registering, logging, whatever. It's a one-off game if you just want to watch this one, or maybe as well the one on Tuesday with the return leg. Come on out. Make a night of it. 5 o'clock kickoff. Should wrap up pretty early. You'll still have a Friday night to enjoy yourself. So Pine Off White tonight is the place to be if you want to watch this. We'll be out there. Have a good time. Join some Voyagers. There'll be watch party. That type of thing. Or if you want to stay home, do it that way, maybe more of a confined night such as to yourself. One Soccer is the place you'll be able to find this broadcast. Tonight it does lead into question 3 here, Tommy, and who or what do you see being the big difference coming out of this game tonight, Canada and Jamaica? I'm going with the pitch. I think this will be a farmer's field. Brendan Dunlop we had on earlier in the morning. He said it's raining there in Jamaica. I would expect that they're just going to let the rain soak it in. It's going to be a very wet. It's going to be maybe a little muddy, maybe a mutter, that type of thing.
Is our men's side, after its appearance at the World Cup, first time in 36 years since 1986, is there some complacency? Do we know? Can we sense some? Like, hey, we did this. Look who we are. Has that settled in at all? I don't really know because I haven't tracked them since the World Cup.
It certainly could. And as Dunlop correctly pointed out as well, they did lose 4-1 to Japan the last time out in I do believe it was just a friendly. But nevertheless, that was a time, and that was something. And Herdman with the F Croatia and all this, I mean, you were kind of – we were all on one there at that time. Yes. And you mentioned, I think, when you get so high, there's I guess, a bit of a letdown in sorts.
Are we in that zone right now?
Well, good young players. You got Fonzie doing what he's doing and kind of being the star now on that team. And then you've got the rest, which are really, really good players. Jonathan David, rumored to be making a move to Italy, which I think his game really suits the Serie A. But as well, Jamaica, and Brendan said it best. The last time Canada beat them 4-0, this wasn't the same Jamaican team. Right. They got a lot of players from the Premier League pedigree proven. So this isn't something where it's like, the pitch is going to be bad and it's going to turn into a rugby game or something like that. Like, these guys got a lot of skill on that Jamaican side. And I hope kind of on both sides it kind of shines through. Unfortunately, though, I would say with the rain and given the circumstances, I don't know, maybe the pitch will be bad. I don't know. Or maybe they've
hot and muggy too.
Hot and muggy, obviously,
degrees,
with the rain as well. So that's going to be something. I don't know. It's going to be good. I look forward to a good game. I think both these teams, again, as I said, both some recognizable names on both sides of the ball, and I hope just too much of the conditions don't play too much of a factor into tonight. Is Fonzie going to shine through? Jonathan David is a star.
Jonathan David. Yeah,
Jonathan David.
Sure. I mean, if they're going to win, those two are going to have to carry the load, right?
Yeah. Those are two big boys on that team, but the Stackios and everything. I just hope the talent from both sides kind of is allowed to
shine through.
Show itself, yes. Watching from Yellowknife this morning, this comes in from Dumb Pete, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. If it's not on the map yet, nice to see Tommy stepping in again. That's Peter St. A, but he calls himself Dumb Pete again.
Thanks, Pete.
So put it on the map, Yellowknife.
Boom.
It's all the way up there. Dusty's away and LTE can play. We love it. That comes in from Colin the Amishman. I love it too, man. Colin, it's great. The stunning loss by Winnipeg happened last year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
This message flies in. No name attached. I see no possibility in which the Bombers lose this game. I do think that's kind of getting forgotten as well, is that they probably had revenge on their minds since last year. Albeit Toronto's not in the game, but they'll just pretend Montreal is Toronto.
Yeah. Did you see this text from Haas? I like it, actually. It's kind of funny. You want me to read it? Why does Tom know so much about Vegas, from Haas? I have an obscure fascination with the Southwest, like D'Angelo Vickers from The Office. I love the Southwest.
Remember the headphones and he's yelling at the...
Yeah. No, I don't know.
The Dundies?
I have friends that live down there.
Dundies!
Actually, one's coming up to visit.
From Arizona?
From Vegas.
What's her name?
I won't say. Okay. Yeah, she's coming up. She
got
her passport yesterday.
Love it.
I don't know. I know a lot about it. And there's stories over a pint or two that we could share about my connection to Las Vegas.
I'll tell you about the Club Beat Loop remix today, and you can tell me about your Vegas stories.
I have
over
one
a pint tonight at the Pine Off White.
Yeah, I'll tell you stories. But there's one story I will share right now. We are going to enjoy some beverages with Scott Laurie from Sobeys Safeway Liquor, because we have Beer of the Week coming up. He's Old Redbeard's ready to go, and that's on the way. But I did name my current vehicle after a burlesque dancer I met in Vegas after watching her show, and then talking to her and hanging out with her after a little bit.
Was there anything on the vehicle that reminded you of the burlesque? Like, you know, where
Yeah,
the
it's a-
hubcaps are large? Or
It's a
was
sexy vehicle.
That's it,
Yeah.
okay. There's no...
Her name's Mika.
Do you want to get into the details?
No, we'll leave it at that. Meeka.
Is it a dirty car?
No,
do you keep it dirty?
No, it's
Yeah.
very nice. It's a very nice.
Clean?
It's elegant.
Elegant. We do have Scott's in the bullpen. He's
ready to rock.
He's got
There
the
he is.
jacket
He heard
on
his
one
name.
arm. He's kind of keeping that drill. You know what I have to do right now, and which I didn't earlier, is I have to find that Sobeys theme music here. Just bear with me if you want to tell a story of a
No, I
Vegas
told
story here.
enough. I
Well,
know
but no,
enough
but just
stories.
while I'm looking for this, like, just make one up, like the NFL
something.
reporters do. Actually, that's another.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Please.
that's bad.
Somebody wanted your thoughts on this because you've been doing this for a large part of your life.
Yeah.
If you just wanted to, while I find this anthem here. quickly.
So actually, JMO sent this to me. Krista Thompson, who she's actually a great broadcaster, one of my favorites, to be honest with you. She admitted to kind of making stuff up or fibbing her way through sideline hits when she didn't get interviews with coaches and stuff like that. Not a good look. Don't admit stuff like that. That's journalism, broadcasting 101. But, obviously felt comfortable enough in her position to admit something like that. No, they don't always want to talk to you. Correct. They don't give you anything good. But you don't want to make stuff up. So not a good look for Krista Thompson, although I do think she is tremendous and an excellent broadcaster. I actually enjoyed her during the Best Damn Sports Show days. With was it Tom Arnold was on that show, and Chris Rose and John Sally, and she was on there. I thought she was fantastic. She's a great broadcaster. But, yeah, that's one of the tricks of the trade. I've never done it. I wouldn't do it. But you don't want to tell people that. So,
Tom
that's
Arnold,
my
eh?
take. Yeah, you don't tell people that. It's like, no, don't make stuff up on the sidelines. But if you're in a jam, I mean, usually you have a ton of other stories and stuff that you prep and you can go to, or I've only done 2 games sidelines. I did those 2 games at the end of last year. You notice something. If you're watching the game, you notice little things here and there, and you pick up tidbits. And you're trying to just burn like a 30-second to minute part of the broadcast. You can just talk about something you saw. So, I don't know. Not a good look for her, but she is a great broadcaster.
Now, I didn't thank you for providing me some time.
Filling?
I didn't find what we needed to find, but I did find some Whale in the Wolf. So we'll have some Whale in the Wolf right now, and we'll slide Scott Laurie into the seat here. You are listening to the Nielson Show. Lieutenant Eric Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die, just to feel you in my veins. I got your number from a friend. She said you are not something to fuck with.
8:27. Was that? Oh, oops.
Rhyme my dirty mouth.
Hey, we can do whatever we want right
That's
now.
true.
Yeah, and it wasn't us that said it. It was
Yeah, no one saw. Whoopsies.
That's my bad. I'm the gatekeeper, and
that was French for all the kids listening.
Look, if you're going to learn it from somewhere, this is the place to learn it from, because
that's a good point.
Look, Swear responsibly, though. That's the most important thing, right? Swearing responsibly. There's a time and place for all that. But Lieutenant Eric, Tom Gazzola, YouTube Trev, it is the Nielson Show. Dustin Nielson covering the Grey Cup out in Hamilton, 8:27. Going to be a beautiful day, and we are joined right now by Mr. Mexico himself, Scott Laurie from Silver Safeway Liquor. How was it?
¿Cómo estás?
Fantastic. I love Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the people are great. The weather's great. We had one day of rain.
That's
whatever,
okay.
You know?
To cool you off a bit.
The kids, it's fun to go swimming in the rain, right?
Yeah.
So you got a bit of a tan.
I got a little bit of a tan. Yeah. No, I'm not peeling yet.
Okay. Yes.
No.
You know, that's coming.
Moisturize.
Yeah.
You're fine.
That's with 50. You know, that's a steady regime that regiment that 50 that I put on. So I know I'm a ginger. I don't tan.
Burn.
Just burn.
Me too, actually.
Burn.
It's delicate skin.
It's great. I mean, this is probably the longest with travel that I haven't had a beer in 7 days, so it's probably about right.
Come on,
travel
boy.
days, because it's Mexico. So
you're gonna feel it today.
Yeah. Steady dose of Tecate and Dos Equis.
Oh,
so
yes.
now moving on to some really nice. We're going 70 acre, which is pretty cool.
Have we done
we've
this?
We've never done 70 acre, so I love when we get to taste a new one. They're out of Sherwood Park. Super great people, great partners of ours out in Sherwood Park. We're going to try 4 different beers from them. And it's a really cool story. Most of the barley that they use in their beer is sourced directly from their own farm.
Okay.
Cool. So they've had a farm since 1900s. They decided, let's use some of this and go to start making our own beer, fans of beer. So they do both. It's a real kind of, again, that farm to glass type of scenario with 70 acre. The beer of the week is the Firehouse Kolsch. So we'll try that second probably, but we're going to try a lager, a Kolsch, a hazy pale, and the hazy pale is great. It's called Hen Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah,
great.
As
little car on there as well.
Most people are confused and dazed driving that thing most of the time.
Painful.
Yeah,
It's a loop.
We could do a podcast on that road. Hey, why not?
We had friends from the U.S. that came up, and they drove up from Denver, and they're like, "Yeah, we took the 215 around the city." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
The 215.
Yeah, I'm like, the Henday? They're like, "Who's that?" I'm like, an explorer that came here a couple hundred years ago, and they're like, that 215 was a lovely road. I'm like, well, you didn't hit the southwest leg, did ya?
Exactly.
Sorry, that was as an aside.
Yeah, you skipped that section.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And then so we've got a hazy pale and an IPA. The Boss Man Lager is the first one. It's $12.99 for a 4-pack of these bad boys. So a great deal. And they're great beers. So let's kick it off. So the Boss Man, I think it's good that we start with that one first. It was their first beer. So this is inspired kind of by Japanese and lager. Really nice, easy drinking. This one's foaming a little bit here. I'm going to pour away from the table. Give that one to
This
you.
carpet's seen a lot of stains. Hey, wait, so we can... From the prior
How
tenants.
do you know?
From the prior tenants.
Oh, okay.
Stained all over the place.
If these carpets could talk.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so again, they got a really kind of a cool where Two Crafts Meet logo on there as well. Like the cans, of course, are well done. Pass one to you there.
Hey, that's
kind of really cool. So
wakes you up a little bit.
Light-bodied, golden. This is their original national award-winning beer. Crisp, dry finish. That's the Boss Man Lager. Again, brewed out of Sherwood Park. Great brewery. Great brewery to go to. Great tap room to sit in. They're awesome. Great people.
Well, to the park, I guess. Hey,
Yeah,
Ryan
sure.
Rashog
Cheers.
and everybody else that populates it.
And that's 5%. So 5% alcohol. Nice, light, clean, crisp.
Clean, crisp, light. Yeah, easy.
Traditional style lager.
I'm hitting these.
A few of those before the match tonight, eh, boys?
Yeah.
That'd
Just get you going.
Yep.
Not hammering your palate. Just easy, nice, delicious Boss Man Lager out of 70 acre.
You know what? I would sit in a tank top and old man pants at a bar drinking these like an old Italian dude. That's the
in
type
a
of
small
beer.
glass.
In a small glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thin one.
Yeah. Just belly hanging out. I'd be a no-no there, as we like to say.
You witnessed some of this last night on the supper out, did you? Or is this
you go to
it's fresh in the mind.
There's a spot. I mean, if you go to Little Italy, there's little cafes and bars where you can have a birra and you can see the old Italian guys that do that, especially in the summer. They have their shirts open and.
You almost want to ask for an autograph because it's such a scene, right? Like it's a
Cafe
postcard.
Amore on 106th Street or 106th Ave. You see the no-nos drinking them, and
I think that's great. That's
Italian
tradition.
center any day there. You can
it's
kind
an
of
ode to my no-no who used to do that. So one day I'll be one of those guys, and that's the type of beer I drink, Scott.
That's the one right there. That is the lager. I mean, that is right up your alley. So so the next one is the actual beer of the week. So this is called the Firehouse. So this one's pale crisp. It's a Kolsch. We've had Kolsch's before.
Yes.
Again, this is a style you like.
Yes, absolutely.
5.1% alcohol, 100% Alberta barley, clear, golden, light in body. Again, crisp, but you're going to get more of that doughy finish rather than you're going to get with the lager. So definitely a different style, but similar in that it's clean and crisp. So
cheers to our men's national side tonight.
Big
in
win
Jamaica,
tonight coming.
looking for the
They
first win.
They win tonight.
I love
They win
it.
tonight. You got to be confident. They win tonight.
He's got the
positive guy.
Matthew likes it. I like this beer. Not lighter on the back end, it feels like.
It's got a very different finish than the lager. The lager is gonna finish dry.
Yep.
This one's gonna finish doughy.
Yep.
Is kind of the best way to describe that. That's the kind of common way to describe it. So not dry, doughy. So again, very clean, very crisp. 5.1%. Another very approachable beer that you can crush, sessionable, whatever one you want. Both of those are really good.
Everybody requesting that your mic. Can we get Scott's mic?
I think he turned it up.
Is it
Good.
juiced? Yeah. Okay.
It's juiced.
All right,
Ooh,
so let's
now
hen
we're
dazed.
going.
Hen
Let's get down the hen
dazed
dazed.
and
This is the
confused.
215. I'm kidding.
This is. Do we have to? If we're in the left lane, do we drink this fairly slow? Like, is that kind of the? I don't know. I'm trying to
and be
trying to
reluctant to get out of the way.
Yeah, and only get in the right lane when you have to take the exit.
Yeah.
You've been driving it. You've been cruising slowly in the left, and now I have to get off. Now I'm going to get into the right lane to take the exit.
Because that's what you do. You stay in the left lane going slow.
Yeah. I think
That's
we all
tr-
plan on
yeah.
changing lanes, and then Tom doesn't move.
Yes.
So me and you go right behind
I
him.
tell you, yeah.
Yeah, and
maybe
that's the way to go. It's the worst.
And you drive on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, and then it's terrible.
I
It's
know.
terrible. Hen Dazed and Confused, juicy, hop forward, cloudy in appearance.
Smells great.
Hen Dazed.
I love and the can
And the
is
car
that a
on
dr-
it.
Yeah,
It's got a throwback. Looks like an old muscle car almost on there. 70 Acre Glen. Great. This is gonna be bright. Kind of that tropical hop, exotic hop, melon.
It's got a great scent to
tangerine.
it. I like
Yeah.
it. It's fun.
Little bit cloudy, not you can see a little bit through it. It's got a little cloud to it. Again, delicious hazy pale ale. It's a really good one. 5.2%.
Would you like to cheers, Danny?
Yeah.
Cheers to the Oilers. When I leave, they win 3 games in a row. Let's keep that.
Where's your
going.
next trip?
Yeah, I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere you want. Yeah. Cheers.
Feeling pretty bullish on the road trip, are you? Coming up?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
What?
Why
Look at
not?
you. What a positive guy. This is amazing.
Well, I didn't see any of the games, so I just reading reports and stuff. But I don't really care.
Oh, they're
winning.
back.
Yeah, they're back.
They're back.
Oilers are back.
I'm not
Stauffer
hen
says.
dazed and confused about what I feel about this beer. I like it.
This is really nice.
It's tasty.
Yeah, and again, very different when you come from those lager and Kolsch to this hazy pale ale. A lot more tang, a lot more bitterness to the finish.
And I'll be honest, I'm not like a big tropical tang, that type of with the beer.
Yeah.
But I can tolerate this.
Yeah, again, it's not super bitter or all fruitful. It's a really nice balanced beer that finishes bitter. And the bitterness kind of the more you drink this one, I think you're going to get more and more of that kind of balanced fruit flavor through it, that kind of tropicalness to it. You're going to get less of that saliva, less of that bitterness as you drink this one through. It's a really good one to pour tall and drink all the way through. Again, we're tasting through this one, but I like that one all the way through it.
Yeah.
This one just changes.
Nowhere near as bitter as a traffic delay on the hen day that it seems like the road construction is endless and will never be complete.
Put that on a can.
Big long, right?
There was too many words in there, but I just you know the
Tom
connection.
Gazzola quote.
Yeah.
It's a super tall can. It's about that big just to fit the story. Yeah. It's a double.
Sorry, my bad.
Well,
Really
no, I mean,
fun.
you could. That's a great idea though with the whole hen day. I mean, it's got us talking. That's kind of the whole, everybody's pissed off at the hen day. That's a
It's
common
true.
denominator.
This
right
will
there.
calm
How
you
dare
down
you
after
besmirch the 215 like that.
the 215.
I thought it was adorable.
Henceforth, it's the 215
they're like,
to me.
we
I
took
love
the
that.
215. I'm like, what the hell's the 215?
I love
They're
that.
from Denver. I'm like, the hen day? They're like,
That's
yeah, who's that?
fantastic.
No.
60 miles an hour, right? Is that
Yeah,
Yeah.
80 the
Yeah.
whole
Boy,
way
you
around
guys
in
are
the
fast
left-hand
here.
lane. Okay, so the next one here, the last one we're going to try is an IPA. delicious IPA, 6.1. So we're ramping up the alcohol in here. You can see the color change. Yeah. It's got more of an amber tinge to it. No haze to this one. You're going to get, again, that tropical kind of flavoring, but you're going to get more of that woodsy pine finish. Refreshing. A good IPA is refreshing. The bitterness kind of gives it that refreshing flavor. Again, 70 Acre. All 4 of these beers are really good. They're great. Again, they're great people. It's a great brewery. There are a bunch of guys on our liquor team that live out in Sherwood Park. This is their go-to. They're there all the time. They're, again, great 70 Acre beer.
Very fresh scent to it.
You could use all 4 of these for a Grey Cup Sunday and kind of make your 100%. Way through the day. 1 beer for a certain time, and later on, closer to kickoff, you maybe get into the
$12.99 for a 4-pack. That's a great price.
Yeah, and if you buy 2 of them, you get another 200 points, C+ points. And if you redeem this week, redeem 1,000 points, we'll give you 200 bonus points back. And it's 20% all of our local beers, so you can get everybody we've tasted all 20% off this week.
You're happy, you get a deal. The local brewers are happy, and everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Drinking and feeling good.
Delicious beers.
Cheers to
the Alouettes.
Oh,
hey, Alouette.
Scott,
very different.
Yeah, this for an IPA, no problem with that. And
I know.
I've been whining to you for like 4 years now.
Yeah,
this is good.
This is good. This is going to be Dusty's IPA. Right, that he's going to go to that one now because he's come that further away. But
he should be here for this.
That would be a good
he's
one.
Missing
that would have been a good one for him. But I love the nice thing about us doing 4 different beers every week is that we can try a bunch of different styles from them, not just the Firehouse Kolsch. You get to see the kind of the artistry, the real craftsmanship that go into first the farming for these guys to get the ingredients, and then to put it all together, the chemistry, the genius of brewing these beers. Again, the Firehouse Kolsch is really good. They're all good. $12.99. You can't go wrong with 70 Acre for sure.
Yeah, Henday is Highway 216. Yes. Gosh, get it right, boys. Henday is 216. 216, boys. Fergie's prostate in the inbox here.
I think it's better.
216, not 215.
Sorry, but that's the point.
It is the point.
I couldn't remember.
Nobody knows.
215 or 216. And I remember when they said it to me, I was like, "What the hell road is that?" Yeah. So thank you for correcting me, but that's not what we think of it as.
That was the illustration.
That's the point.
And nobody knows.
Thank you for
common knowledge.
Yeah,
we appreciate
216. Apologies.
Pat Maroon's Bibba kind of identifies the Henday, emotionally damaging, busted, and broken with occasional spurts of joy, like when the cones come down for a week. That's a good. I think everybody can really cuts through.
It does
people's emotions. Yeah,
you got the big sky, the big Alberta sky. You got the muscle car. It screams Alberta. It screams the 216 around the capital.
Yes, the 216.
Yes.
It's a perfect beer for afterwards, after driving around it, if you have to take the loop.
Well, if you need to take a load off after the stress of the
216. If I may, and I saw on Twitter as well, somebody brought this up in the nasty chat right now. Why do they even do this or put beer of the week in the flyer when Sobeys Liquor never even has these in the stores? Happened again last week. Nowhere had the Buffalo 9.
Is that Jeff?
It's Spazno Crest. It could be Jeff. If you are Jeff, please identify yourself. But this happens. I mean, you get a hot beer and a hot deal, 100%. They fly off the shelves.
Yeah.
But people can kind of reach out to yourself, and you can 100%. Put the call in.
Yeah, there was one customer put a picture of it. Yeah. I'll reach back out to you. I'll make sure you get some.
If you are looking for some of these and they're not on the we will make sure to get this or go to great lengths to get this beer in your hands any way we can.
And again, I'll have contact with all the stores. You let me know on Twitter. You can let me know. Text in right now what store you can't get it at. We'll make sure you get it. Sometimes there's delays. Sometimes there's issues with brewing. Sometimes there's all sorts of happens with everything. Sometimes it just sells really well.
The Whistle Dog, for example,
beer.
Right? That was a big
100%. So we'll make every effort to get you some. If we need to drive it across the city, we'll get it to you.
But just let us know if you can't find one of these on the weekly special. Let us, myself, Dustin, Tom, whomever. And we'll try to get this to you.
Yeah,
get
100%.
the proper channels in motion. I went and visited my parents' new home in St. Albert.
Yes.
Last night. Sobeys Liquor, like literally a minute away.
Beautiful. Summit.
Man,
great
I'll
store.
Be there.
Great wine store.
Yes.
It's a good wine store for us.
Okay, good.
Good
my
beer
mom
room.
and dad love wine.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Say hi to Francine.
Oh, Francine.
There you go.
Scott sent me here.
Yeah. It's close to my house too.
Could we have a
maybe we could hang out at the St. Albert. Maybe we'll meet there and have a 6 o'clock lager party.
Scott, I like where this is going. I like where this is going a lot. The 70 Acre is fantastic, by the way. All 4 of them, tremendous.
Yeah, I think we'll probably move that to you.
Yes.
The Kolsch is for you. Hand-dazed?
Yeah.
Hand-dazed? Yeah.
Hand-dazed.
Yeah.
Well, pre-gaming for the Canada-Jamaica tonight, 5 o'clock. Pint Off White is where we'll be. Are you any plans? I mean, I am extending the invite to you. You can do whatever you want with it. But tonight, 5 o'clock, Pint Off White.
I appreciate the invite. Yes, thank you very much. It's day one back from holidays. I'm sure I've got a case
totally
full of wet laundry.
Have an app, do some laundry, and get back into the groove.
I mean, anytime you can cheer for Canada playing soccer, I think, and when we're good, we're a good team. I think
Jamaica's good too.
Jamaica's good too.
It's a good game.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like it's gonna be a tough game, but if Canada plays the way they can play, and they play, I feel like as a team a little better than they have sometimes in the past. We could be really good.
I'll be there, so if you want to come up and you can make it.
That could be
that's the deciding factor.
Mexico trip. No, Tom's
there. Tom's there.
Yeah.
Tilt the scales. That's what I'm here to do.
Do you got to get? Do you want to stick around for the wrap, or what do you want to get out of here?
I'm good. It's up to you.
Hang around, have a good time.
Yeah,
sure.
hang around.
Sure.
Yeah,
We'll
crush the rest of this beer.
We'll get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it wrapped. William Huff. You can visit them online. Check them out. They're located just a stone's throw from the station here on the West End. Visit them. It's a very illustrative place, I guess you could say. They wrap their own building.
Quite visual.
You can't find the door. That's the best. You walk up to the place and you're like, is this the door? Is this the door? Say, get in there, say hi, tell them we sent you. And William Huff, wrapping Edmonton for decades and decades and decades. What did you learn on the show this morning, Tom? If anything.
What did I learn today? Nothing. I learned that
it's Friday show.
I'm
That's
okay.
Weekend.
Today was just a very pleasant
it's
show.
Not an educational program.
I really, to me, what accentuated today's show, the beer from 70 Acre, fantastic. I learned, you know what I actually learned today? It's not the 215, it's the 216. But I also think that's quite telling of how we feel about the Henday.
Well, nobody knew it off the top of their head.
Right.
There was a delayed reaction, then people looked it up. They're like, oh, it's wrong. And then you're wrong. I
because
looked it
they
up.
know. They're like, what the hell's
Nobody cares.
215? It's a 216.
GC giveaway the same, boys. Yes, I almost forgot. $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquors on the line. We will do a text contest.
Make it Trevor's problem. Good morning. Wake up.
Yeah, because so Trev, go in the inbox and pick somebody. Somebody will placate to YouTube Trev. However you think you can get this $50 GC, YouTube Trev will pick a random texter in the inbox, 780-218-9999. Much like getting on for Kind of Easy Trivia. If you want this thing, come and get it. Be somebody today. Entertain YouTube Trev. Maybe tell him a joke. Maybe give him some sort of educational point this morning. But anyway, you can get that $50 GC. Text in right now, 780-218-9999, and YouTube Trev will pick a winner. $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. I want to get to this message out of the nasty chat this morning on YouTube. Johnny Jasno, friend of ours, friend of EST. Cheers to the spirit of Edmonton. Packed house last night in Hamilton. And as the Thursday goes into the Friday, spirit of Edmonton, they are now in one, officially, I think, right? Now they've turned the page. Everybody's there. Everybody's done. The awards show is done. You are now in one.
The Friday is the breakfast for Spirit of Edmonton. So a sociable to everyone representing the Big E.
Miss you.
Down in the Hammer. Jerry and the crew probably taking care of everyone very, 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 very well, as they do. Quite hospitable over there.
Yeah, the love for YouTube, Trev, is pouring in at the Paris Drew-Luz inbox, 780-218-9999. You are, this is amazing, hey?
I like how you've
people
become
want to adopt
Flake
you.
Boy, YouTube Trev.
Well, they're razzing him now. They want something. So they want butter him up
their
here.
best friend.
Yeah.
Man of many nicknames.
Yeah, exactly. Highlight of Mexico.
Oh,
just outside of Cancun, right?
It was. The highlight would be just the people. I always find everyone's so friendly, so nice. The people, I would say.
Yeah,
I love it down there.
They're quite pleasant. How was the food?
Food was great. Yeah, we had all sorts of different restaurants, a la carte restaurants, everything from Japanese to fusion to Italian to we had French.
It's odd when you go to Mexico and they make Italian food because it's like contradictory. It's like oil and water, but at the same time they use the same ingredients.
You know what I mean? I find we usually eat a lot of the more traditional foods for lunch but the dinners we were kind of going to a la carte kind of different ones. We had a group of 8, so it was a fairly big group to navigate through.
If you asked an Italian person to make Mexican food, you know what they would make? Italian food.
Spaghetti with a bit of spice.
Yeah, they're like
taco shell.
Yeah.
Taco.
With taco, exactly. No,
I want to
it's
get to
great.
this text on my personal cell phone here.
Oh.
Hey, buddy, I don't know if you're getting any of my messages. Just wanted to give you an update from the Sledge Hockey Challenge. We won our first game versus the Carolina Hurricanes, 1-0. We play the LA Kings this afternoon. That comes in from Wheels. He is down south stateside sledge hockey tournament, and they're playing. They represent the Oilers.
Yes. Wow.
So he's got the Oilers jersey with his name on the back.
Awesome.
Big moment for him and big tournament for him. So Wheels, it's just busy show. And we see you, we hear you, we all want to be you, but cheers to you, man, and good luck in your afternoon game against the Kings as well later this afternoon. Repping the E-Dot.
People apologizing now to Trev. Odd.
Oh, they're recanting.
They're
recanting.
recanting.
Yeah. They
He's satisfied over there.
I may have called you so-and-so earlier today, but I really want that $50 GC.
I love ya.
Yeah.
But I want beer.
I want beer. I want lots of beer.
This is a modified The Wrap this morning as we're kind of going into your Mexico trip and what we learned. And anything stick out text of the day wise this morning? A&W, $20. Did anything? I mean, well, no, you don't have to go back. Maybe it's one of these people that will fail for the $50 GC, and we award them a $20 to A&W as well, because this. They are talking about YouTube Trev like something else. Have you ever received this much love in your life, YouTube Trev, in a concentrated time? Like, this is it. Hey. Yeah. You've crested, I guess.
Hey, okay, so I've been talking up Jason Moss. I'm rooting for him. I have a vested interest in Jason to win the Grey Cup this weekend. I fully and readily admit that he's on Bozone Live again this season. And a text came in from Timber Woodsman, said, hey, Tommy, any chance guys at Bozone Live throw you up in a tree stand? I offered to do it. I'm wearing a shirt that I received from Bozone Live last year, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I said yes, I'd go in there. We created a feature of it, and nobody's said, hey, Tom, come, we'll gear you up and put you in a tree stand. I can't shoot a bow. I've never done it, but I'm in season 4 of hosting this show, and I'm very excited. Sunday, Scott, first episode live. Exciting. We had the preview show yesterday on Wild TV, and Jason Moss is one of our hunters. So I expect him to win the Grey Cup this weekend, and then when he comes in, 'cause he still lives in Sherwood Park, he'll have the cup with him.
He'll be drinking out of that puppy.
We'll be talking about a absolute beauty of a buck that he took down and harvested, and it'll make for a glorious Bozone Live Season 4.
Put some Sherwood Park 70-acre in the Grey Cup.
See, it's all tied together.
It has to happen.
And you can get to Sherwood Park via the 216
or 15,
whatever you want to call it.
A hen day, having a hen days after because of the stress that you need to relieve from driving on it. Right? It's all tied in.
My PVR is set.
Yes.
I Bozone Live is the
Javier Strudwick is here.
This guy.
There he is.
I love it. Strudwick and Milne on the EST Hangout today with Matt Iwanek. That'll be coming up immediately following about 9 minutes and change here on the Nielson Show. Of course, Dustin Nielson out. Where did he be? Niagara. He took the. Did he drive today? When was the drive? Was that last night or something like that?
On the lake.
Must be in the Hammer. Yeah.
I like this text that came in. You went all the way to Mexico and didn't have margarita pizza.
Of course I did. I actually did.
Margarita pizza.
I didn't have my phone on me to take a picture of it. I had it in the Italian as an appetizer.
Yes.
I had to.
As
I had to
one
have
does.
it. Margarita pizza.
As one does.
Classic Mexico cuisine.
Right? How is the hotel?
This is our third time in this hotel.
Yeah.
So we've been a 3-day trip, a 4-day trip, and this was a week. So it's very, very good. I'd go back again.
Oh, God. I need to get back to Mexico.
Everyone needs to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
If you no?
What?
No.
You'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy the speed.
We are debating right now whether it's a trip there for my maiden voyage or Palm Springs.
I've been to both.
Debate amongst yourselves.
What would you say, Scott?
I would choose Mexico.
Really?
Yes.
100 times out of 100.
Is that what it is? Getting weighted on hand and foot?
Well, part of it, but also you
Price
kind of
point?
price point. You kind of make your own speed in Mexico. You can, if you want to sit by the pool and do nothing, you can do that all day.
Yep.
If you want to go, we did a zip line, cenote swim, roller coaster thing in the jungle. for a day. We did that. We did sport fishing, caught a barracuda. You can do that too.
Ruins.
You can see ruins. There's just it's a very versatile trip when you go down to Mexico. And again, the people make it. Nice. They're super friendly. Yeah. So I would recommend Mexico.
But not just going to Mexico. The all-inclusive, I think there's.
So my parents go. My parents go for 2 months. My parents go for 2 months, and they stay in a condo. So you can do both ways.
Okay.
Which they really enjoy doing because they can go to different restaurants.
Are they looking to have somebody take care of the place?
Sublet.
I mean, hey, talk about price point. I'm all for that type of deal.
Yeah, so there's both ways you can do it. If it's your first time down there, I'd probably go all-inclusive.
Okay.
Just to get used to it, but.
I know you were the Southwest. I thought maybe Palm Springs. You kind of maybe.
I do enjoy Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
It is expensive.
Yeah,
it does come with a certain cost, and I'd prefer to go to Mexico like Scott did with the fam because the access to food, beverages, all you gotta do is tip, and like you said, the vibe from the people is the best part.
Yeah.
What are we laughing at?
The Cool Bet stack, our seafood tower of sports picks, plus 970, plus 975 on the EST parlay on Cool Bet. So get on that plus 975. Don't wait, do it now. You can thank us later. Big Maple Sports Cards hits it on the head. LTE, I think Jamaica is more your speed.
Oh.
Great.
That was the question I was going to ask because I think there's certain things in California, Palm Springs, as opposed to Mexico. I don't know. I'm just saying. My speed. I think Jamaica would be. I should be down there for the game tonight.
Jamaica's fun. I've been to Jamaica.
You have?
I have.
Jamaica.
Jamaica's.
I'd like to go.
Jamaica's a lot of fun.
We tossed that around as well in our tropical vacation destination.
Jamaica, again, the people, the atmosphere, the speed. It's all really,
the
really
food too.
good.
I hear
It's all really good. Jamaica's great.
Danky King made a great point. Yes, Danky King says Palm Springs is boring unless you golf. All concrete, no nightlife. It's an older community.
No.
Yeah, it's an older community, and like Scott said, like you can pick your speed. You can there's so many options in Mexico. I haven't been to Jamaica or Dominican or anything like that, but I've heard that those are pretty darn good too.
Yeah.
Moonwatcher chimes in, staying in a condo and hanging with the locals is the way to go. They have so many awesome things to show you, and that's kind of I've always been the resort. I don't want to because it's like going to a travel lodge. In my mind, that's kind of how I view it all.
So nice.
No, yeah.
You'll actually get to know a lot of the people that are working there.
Yeah. So
because I mean, you're a good person, so good people meet good people, and when you start talking to them, they'll tell you what's fun to do, what you can do. You can ride a bike tour. You can go into town. The place we were at last time, there was a brewery that we took a taxi to, so we got into town to a brewery. If you start talking to some of the people, and you'll see all the really kind of cool things to do, so you don't have to remain on site all day.
And that's what I like, and that's what I'm kind 100%. Of. Then we're carrying on here. Hampton, Steve, LTE, Bahamas is the place to go. Nassau has tons of things. Bahamas, anybody dip their toe there?
Once on a cruise.
So you kind of in and out.
In and out there, didn't get a real feel.
Puerto Vallarta in 06, when the Oilers clinched the Western Conference to go to the Stanley Cup Final. I had flown down to Puerto Vallarta, and Manuel, the bartender, I still remember him to this day.
Love it.
He's like, "Hey, you guys, isn't that your city?" And that was the next day after a wild night. And we look up, it was ESPN Deportes, and there's White Ave. And I was like, oh, my goodness. And he's like, "You guys need a beer?" And we're like, yeah, that's not a good look for our city. But, yeah.
Manuel, boys, best of both worlds. This comes in from Senior Boots. Go to Palm Springs, then drive down to Puerto Penasco, Mexico.
Oh.
TG, you should have made this trip from Phoenix at some point. It's awesome.
I did not make that trip from Phoenix. I usually would just go further west to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And Haas was asking how much I know about Vegas and why I know so much about it, because I spent a lot of time there.
I like Vegas.
Vegas is fun.
Vegas is fun.
Yeah. Manhole covers beat damned.
Well, I mean, one manhole cover.
Yes.
I just love how that's all. It's all manhole. That's what's going to sideline and derail this whole thing.
Yeah.
I just want to get to a quick message out of the NASA chat, and we are wrapping up here. Nielsen Show, 8:56 here in Edmonton Sports Talk. Jason Strudwick, Jay Milne coming up on the Hangout with Matt Iwanek. Greg Lockhart.
Yes, Greg.
Who's been messaging us over the last couple of days. He's checking in the nasty chat on his boy Fox, who's receiving care at the Stollery.
Yes.
Fox is recovering well, friends. Just needs to get his bladder moving a little more. If I'm around, I'll pop in at the pint. That's for tonight for the Canada Soccer. I've already offered first pint on us. Greg, thanks for the prayers, my nasty friends. Greg follows off to learn how to care for his new stomach feeding tube. I wonder if they'll notice if I'm listening to the Hangout in one ear. I'm sure they won't mind, and a little, positivity. I'm sure Strutty will give you the energy you need for the Stollery this afternoon. So, Greg, good luck to you, your son Fox, and we're all thinking of you. And if you do decide to change it up and swing down to the Pint tonight, we'll take care of you there. Myself, Iwanek, and Tommy. So good luck with all that. Thanks for coming in again. I know it was a whirlwind 24, 48 hours for you.
No better way to start a day.
I love it. You are my speed all the time, man. Thank you so much. And Tom, thanks for... You'll be back Monday.
Back Monday.
Yeah. Dustin Nielson will be... I guess he'll be traveling Monday. Slight chance maybe he could join us. But enjoy Grey Cup, Formula One, college football, NBA in-season play-in tournament, youth sport, WHL action.
Scotland, Norway.
It is the international break weekend, of course, with Canada playing, Scotland playing as well. Erling Haaland with a bit of an injury as well for Norway. He might be missing. He might miss the game.
Yeah, perfect.
And then he'll be back to play for Man City against Liverpool on a 5:30 a.m. kickoff the next week, which is going to...
We've already qualified, though, so it's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah, for YouTube, Trev, behind the monitors, and you killed it, man. You are a living legend already in the making.
Power stash.
Right?
Power stash.
Cody Fajardo.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
no?
yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Very strong. That's a compliment, not
another nickname.
Scott Laurie, Sobies, and St.
Cheers.
Lucas, thank you again so much. Tom Gazzola, Lieutenant Eric, Matt Iwanek, Jason Strodo, Jay Milne coming up next with the Hangout. For everybody here, enjoy Grey Cup. Listen to Dustin Nielson. He's got the radio call Coast to Coast to Coast. And we will talk to you Monday on the Nielson Show. Have a good weekend.